Welcome back. How are we doing? Today is the date of, let's see here. I know what day it is, trust me. Saturday, January 17th of 2026. How are we doing today, everybody? It is a beautiful day out here in Kansas. Let me tell you, Kansas is a beautiful state and it's a beautiful day here. It's actually very cold, but still beautiful nonetheless. Still beautiful. Anyways, I'm gonna share the link and get some things started. Then we'll truly start into the stream. I hope everybody's doing well, though. I truly do. Today is it's been a fun day. Let me tell you, it's been a fun day. Anyways, how are you guys doing today? Hopefully you're doing well. Let me get my chat up here. Anyways, I'm not sure how many viewers we'll be getting tonight, but instead of PBS NewsHour, we do have some more interesting things. We've got the Sudan genocide. We'll be going over a little bit of that and analyzing a video by Warfronts. And then for the main little bit today, we're going to actually be watching a Lonerbox debate panel. I thought it was very good how Loner and the Soy Pill, what an absolute pairing, by the way. Just absolutely decimated these rightoid points. So we'll be getting into that. And then if we have time, we've got a Benny Johnson clip we'll be watching. All about, I guess, Iran's plot to blow up the president. I don't know. Sounded interesting anyways. So let me share my stream link with everybody. Let the people know that I am live. By the way, congratulations to Kalinda. She hit 500 subs, meaning monetization for her. So congratulations to her. That is a super exciting typing up the message. That is a super exciting goal to hit. So shout out to Kalinda. That's obviously I also share the same Discord as her. So if you guys, I'm actually going to share the Discord link here in a minute, but if you guys disagree with me, please feel free, come into the Discord, let me know in chat, and we can get a good faith debate going. How about that? A good faith debate. That's what we love out here. We don't like bad faith debates. We like good faith debates. We're anti-bad faith debates out here, ladies and gentlemen. Live? That is so... Okay, so you guys know Dispel, right? He's a pretty frequent flyer in Kalinda and I's circle. So please, can you please, for the love of God, explain to me what the words live grooming children into looks maxing, dressed to impress. I mean, that is an unhinged title for a stream. Thanks, buddy. Hey, anytime. Anytime. Shout out to Kalinda. She's in the stream right now as we speak. Pretty big deal. I'm getting a little starstruck personally. How are you doing, Kalinda? It's good to see you. By the way, if you guys are enjoying the stream, please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, gets me boosted out there in the algorithm. I do a show every day, typically from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., although times may vary in these upcoming days. You guys will see. I'll have the scheduled streams. But anyways, also something to announce is that I do have a poll up on my channel. I think Destiny is covering the Clav drama. I haven't heard much about that drama, I'll be honest. I've been kind of just been focusing on the like just general headlines right now. I haven't been getting into any drama or anything recently, although I feel like I should, because I'm quite the messy I like drama, okay? I like drama. Anyways, let me get my game started, and then we can get truly started on the news we'll be covering today. Heartbreakingly, PBS NewsHour, they no longer have a PBS News Weekend due to lack of funding, which truly breaks my heart. You guys could hear how upset I was about it when they announced it. I was heartbroken. I think PBS NewsHour is such a vital resource for people, and it just truly breaks my heart that it's become such a sentiment on the right that it's just disinformation, that it's not valuable. It's just really sad. It's basically a dude who is taking a bunch of drugs to compensate for his insecurities, even though he's pretty good looking, and he posts about it online. Yeah, that's not good. That is really sad. I hope he does better, honestly. I hope he gets better. Anyways, yeah, that is sad. I think that's something I haven't really seen too much of, is creators that are struggling with addiction. I don't know if that's just not something I'm privy to, but I haven't seen that too often. I've seen creators who used to struggle with addiction, but I guess they wouldn't be too open about that, eh? Anyways, I shouldn't be gaming right now. I should be setting things up in the stream. By the way, if you guys disagree with me at any point during the stream, feel free to come into Discord. Let me know in chat that you've got a disagreement, and we can fight about it. We can have a good faith debate. What types is drugs? Well, drugs are typically... What type of drugs? Like addiction-wise, like I haven't seen too many okay, so let me rephrase. I have seen some people, let me restate. I have seen some people addicted to, like, I guess addiction. They've been prescribed Adderall, but besides that, I don't know of many coked out. Like, I haven't seen many coked out streamers, although maybe I just don't traffic in the same areas. I've been pretty blessed to for YouTube to have my to be my safe haven. Truly blessed. Anyways, we'll be getting started here in about 10 minutes now. Or not 10 minutes, 2 minutes. Oopsie. I just want people to come in and file in gambling. Yeah, that's a good point. Gambling is yeah, you've got a great point there. Gambling is a whole different type of addiction. I don't know, I guess substance addiction is what I meant, but oh yeah, we've got some major gamblers out there. Gambling as just an issue in general is something that is plaguing America. I cannot tell you how many people spend money on scratch tickets. I mean, that's crazy to me. Scratch tickets? I just don't really see the benefit in those. Like, it's like digging a hole and putting your money in it, in my opinion. It'd probably be better. Coke stream seems like it would go hand in hand, actually. Some of the cracked out brain rot streams would love the Wambino. Very true. Very true. Anyways, guys, we'll get started now because I just feel like it, okay? Don't judge me too much. Judge me a little, but not too much. Anyways, oh god, the screen is black. Ugh. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to let you see that right now. Now you can look at it. Feel free. Feel free. Yes, we will be getting into Loner Box, but first we're gonna watch this Warfronts piece about Sudan's genocide. They're actually the first ones that told me about it, so I'm actually it's a very interesting topic, and unfortunately, since we don't have PBS News Weekend, we do have to kind of foray into the into some different content mediums, particularly with those gambling sponsorships. Amen. I think it's crazy that they're allowed to advertise so freely. They should have the same restrictions as like cigarette brands, in my opinion. Polymarket, now they bet on politics, geopolitical outcomes. Betting app makes more money than Hollywood now. Yeah, I think gambling is a real issue. And I think it's being encouraged by the Trump administration when he allows these companies to just go scot-free, in my opinion. Anyways, let's get into this.
City, this is what it looks like. These were the words of Nathaniel Raymond, Executive Director of the Humanitarian Research Lab.
Don't worry, by the way, guys. We'll get our first dump of MAGA here soon. We call them big, massive dumps. We'll be getting our first dump of MAGA here soon. Don't you worry, by the way. Don't you worry. Also, shout out to Chad. I remember seeing you here earlier, and I appreciate you coming by. That means a lot to me, gamer.
Of Public Health, speaking to the New York Times about the fall of Al Fasher. Once a bustling city, the capital of North Darfur was encircled and besieged by the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces amid Sudan's chaotic civil war. For over 550 days, it held out against the RSF, resisting takeover even as medical care became scarce and famine took hold. Then, in October, its defenses finally broke. What followed was likely one of the worst war crimes committed this century. Victorious RSF fighters uploaded...
Yeah, it's absolutely horrible, the story of Al Fasher, and I really am surprised I didn't see, you saw a little bit of news coverage, like, immediately after the absolute, and in the run-up too, but this was preventable. I'm just gonna say that much. This slaughter was completely preventable. He'll get into some of the numbers here, but this is one of the, this has to be up there in one of the bloodiest days in human history. The amount of people killed in one day is honestly kind of, it's hard to fathom. It's hard to fathom.
Videos of themselves gunning down fleeing civilians or executing those pleading for their lives. The last remaining hospital was sacked, and medical staff and patients alike were slaughtered by the hundreds. It was, in short,
I mean, think about that. Just in one hospital, 460 people died. It's just sad. I don't get it. Anyway, yeah, sadly no one cares about Africa. Well, no one but Russia and China and Qatar. They seem, or the UAE are the ones that are funding the RSF right now. They seem to be very interested in it. It's heartbreaking, truly.
One that caused shock across the world. Yet it's only now that we may finally be starting to grasp the true scale of what happened.
I've always said this, but I think the US has given up so much, like, territory in Africa. Africa is like they want democracies. A lot of these places want democracies, but unfortunately, a couple, warlords come in and ruin that for them. It truly is heartbreaking.
Flight imagery and a recent visit by the UN have confirmed what analysts feared. El Fasher today is a ghost town. Markets are empty, streets are overgrown with weeds, all signs of life have vanished. And that raises a horrifying question.
Yeah, that's another great point, Chad. We turned off USAID, which, in my opinion, one of the biggest failures of American leadership, it just broke my heart because I knew so many people were going to die because of that. And that did not have to happen. It didn't have to be that way. It really didn't. But Trump and Doge got their little stupid hands in there and completely got rid of all the soft power that the United States had been projecting for years. But, to these people, soft power doesn't exist. Soft power is woke, I believe.
Moment that El Fasher fell, the city was home to perhaps 250,000 people. 106,000 are estimated to have fled to nearby refugee camps, but the rest, they're just gone. They disappeared. Are they hostages? Are they in hiding? Or are they dead? Buried beneath the vast desert. The only certain thing is that Sudan's genocide may be even worse than anyone realized. The Deadland. It reads
We don't
like
care
a
about democracy. It is who will facilitate exporting their natural resources for our capitalistic needs. Warlords works just as well as democracy, as well as a dictator. Well, I agree that is the current admin's goals and ambitions, but it didn't have to, it used to not be like that. We were going towards an age where we supported democracies, and I just I don't get it. I don't get I don't know. Sorry, I get caught up because just how stupid of the idea of getting rid of USAID really is. It makes no sense. It completely removes America from being a benevolent figure on the world stage and just shows that, like Chad said there, that we just care about oil. And that's not the America I grew up in. And the wonder why the Chinese find opportunities to gain influence in Africa. Thank you. Like, it makes we are leaving so much on the table. So much influence, so many great allies in Africa that we're just leaving up to the Chinese. And, the Chinese are just as bad as us if we're going by that, if not worse, At least they're honest, At least they're like, oh yeah, we're only gonna build a road to the mine. Yeah, that's it. That's all you get with the Belt and Road Initiative. At least the Chinese are honest about it. It's so sad.
Script for a post-apocalyptic movie. On a desolate December day, a small team enters a city that once drew people from all over the region. But rather than a busy market town, the outsiders instead find just nothing, or more accurately,
Definitely
no
not
one.
right, but we greased the wheel with USAID, and if that didn't work, you got sanctions. It has always been the same goal at the end of the day, unfortunately. Well, I mean, USAID was it definitely helped a lot of people, and I mean, I'm more for soft power. I think this hard power. I think this stance of being able to project your power and stuff like that helps to a certain extent, but that's not going to change hearts and minds, A tank is not going to make someone love you, but a bowl of food might. A bowl of food very well might. You know, bullets aren't going to gain you love, but a vaccine might. A vaccine may very well gain a lot of favor in these countries.
Almost nothing beyond ruins and empty streets beneath the clear desert skies. But of course, this wasn't a
By the
movie.
way, if you guys are enjoying the stream, please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and helps boost me out there in the algorithm. I do a show every day, typically from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., but today's a little different. And I might not be streaming tomorrow because I do have some things planned, but I'm not sure about that yet. George Bush's one success was combating AIDS in Africa. Reporting for misinformation! Joseph, you've been reporting me for weeks over misinformation. You're gonna have to try harder. Why don't you come into the Discord and actually debate me on my ideas instead of just hiding in the comments? I mean, I'm all for my comment section being a war zone, but I think it's just a little pathetic right now. You know. But, you know, continue reporting me for misinformation. I think all it does is boost me in the algorithm, actually.
That city was El Fasher in Sudan, and the small team comprised the UN's first visit since it fell to the RSF 2 months prior. As the UN coordinator in Sudan told El Pais, what is clear is that there
I'm talking about USAID, Bud Russell. I'm not talking about anything before that. I'm not talking about SNAP or anything like that. But anyways.
were no thousands of people to see.
Oh, less than a week, you mathematically defunct fascist! So is forcing your bullshit to people who disagree with you, fascist fuck!
It's like a ghost town.
Oh, Joseph.
Even for a war that has already lasted over
I am so glad you are here. This is truly
days and
the
feats of
height.
mass killings and the destruction of the capital city, the fate of El Fasher.
I know what you're talking about. Well, Bud, then you would know that USAID, the vast majority of USAID, was going to places that needed it. And at the end of the day, you should at the very least, Trump should have at the very least provided something else, but instead he didn't provide any of that.
Stood out as particularly brutal. Placed under siege for over 550 days, its residents suffered levels of deprivation that scholar Abdel Nasser Salam Hamed compared to the siege of Leningrad.
Rampant with fraud? Where are you getting that from? Where were the investigations that showed USAID was being used for fraud? I would love to see that. Trump wants to fuck his own daughter? Well, that is true. He was very obsessed with Ivanka Trump. Also, whatever happened to Ivanka? Poor girl. Where do I get the moral authority from? Google is a tool. Use it. Well, why don't you use it? You're the one who brought up the argument. You're going to have to provide some evidence for that. Do USAID in your state? Well, that's not quite how the system works, my friend.
World War II. But it was what happened in October.
My point is, it really is the benefit of Empire and Corpse. I don't know if the powers are really that benevolent regarding starving people. Exchange for your lithium. You got a deal. Well, no, USAID wasn't used for that. It was explicitly a benevolent thing. Like, people were getting USAID that didn't even provide any benefit to our economy.
That has ensured El Fasher's place in the history books.
No, it is, you're the one saying, you're the one bringing the positive claim, Joseph. So you're going to have to provide some evidence for that positive claim. Interesting. First time I've come across your channel. Refreshing to find an American that I agree with. Hello from New Zealand. Well, hello there. I hope you're doing
when
well,
the Sudanese armed forces
Thanks for
chaotically
stopping
retreated from
by.
their
I
last
really
stronghold
appreciate
in
it.
the suburb of
Don't worry about the chat. This is just usually how it is, you know. But I appreciate the engagement. I appreciate people coming and expressing their views. I know we're all not going to agree, but at the end of the day, I encourage, healthy discussion. Trump is comparable with Hitler, a disgusting dictator. Whoever supports MAGA is an idiot. I do very much agree. I do very much agree. I think the ideas that Trump represents also are very, very concerning. Like the disregard for our legal system, the disregard for the courts. I think that's concerning because I very much believe in the institutions that we have right now. Anyways, let's continue on. Again, we're watching a video by Warfronts that is about Sudan's genocide. So if you guys enjoy this, please remember to go like and subscribe to Warfronts. I'm a big fan of them.
Daraj Arullah, the RSF swept in and began a series of mass killings that may be unparalleled in recent history. Estimates at the time, both from Yale's Humanitarian Research Lab and from a private intelligence briefing.
So Joseph, you agree that we should remove subsidies from SpaceX, right? And like Grok and shit.
Given to British parliamentarians, placed the death toll at somewhere in the region of
You fund these institutions.
6,000. To put that number in proper context, it took 21 months of war for the official death toll in Gaza to reach 60,000.
Bribe case
In Al-Fasher,
USAID?
it's thought to have taken less than
I have not heard of that. What was the case name? And I'll look it up.
2 weeks. To be clear, no one knows the precise numbers killed in the city. Very
Thank
few
you for
outsiders
being on the
have
right
been
side. Well, thank you for supporting me. That's what, at the end of the day, I mean, I really appreciate it, man. I do. And I also appreciate you supporting democracy. Democracy is so important in these times of rapid authoritarian rise.
given access. No forensic examinations have been carried out, and what information we do have is pretty patchy. Some small changes in methodology can therefore produce wildly different death tolls. Still, the stuff that has trickled out in the last 2 months suggests that the fall of Al-Fasher may have been even worse than initially reported.
Yes. Oh, so you just don't believe in taxes. Okay. Well, please wake up when you come into the real world and you realize that you very much appreciate things like drinkable tap water, well, I want to know the case name. If I just look up $550 million in a bribe case and okay, I'll just look that up. How about that? One, look into this. We have fraud, and you guys know me. I am the #1 hater of fraud, so let's check this out. USAID, 550 million. Let's check this out. Office of Public Affairs, July 2025. US. Okay, so DOJ. In a decade-long 4 men. Well, it looks like we caught it. It looks like we caught it, so that's good. 2 companies. So if you guys don't know how USAID works, is that essentially the government gives money to companies and they produce the food. 57, Maryland, who worked as a USA contracting officer. Consulting group. So it looks like it was a consulting group that was at the bottom of this petition. Defendant plea of prosecution agreements in contraction with criminal information filed today in the District of Maryland. Also, remember, this is from Trump's DOJ. But, yeah, I mean, that's bad, but we caught it. So I don't think that shows that it's rife with fucking fraud. You know, and also I think something important to remember is that there's going to be fraud in any system. We found out that we found it. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Pleaded guilty to accepting bribes. So hold on. We were not. Hold on. From the AI overview, it's telling me the bribes were only $1 million. However, it doesn't look like $550 million were. So hold on. You're making it sound like the people were not getting food and people were just pocketing the money, but that's not the case. The case is that they steered business in a certain direction. That does not mean fraud. That does not mean they're pocketing the money. Hold on. This is interesting because it's not the way you're representing it. You're representing it as if there was no money. All the money we were spending on this was just going nowhere. No, this $550 million was going to companies. It's just, it was favored companies rather than, it was companies favored by that contractor rather than, I guess, what would be best for money-wise. Anyways, I just, we looked into it. So it's not exactly what you were saying. $550 million was not stolen from the government. Anyways,
a
let's
theory
continue.
backed up by the wealth of satellite imagery suggesting that something terrible happened here. Some of that imagery we already mentioned. The zoomed in,
So I wouldn't quite
pixelated
call that fraud. You're implying that that $550 million was stolen. Looks like the real fraud was the friends we scammed along the way. Yeah, I don't think this is fraud in the sense of somebody is pocketing $550 million. It's fraud in the sense that somebody was being bribed to give government contracts to people. But the food was still being made and still being delivered. So, anyways.
Photos of once busy streets, now empty and overgrown.
By the
lack
way,
of
if you
signs
guys
of
are
life-
enjoying the stream, please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and really gets the channel boosted out there.
Around markets or water points and other places you'd expect people to gather. What we haven't yet mentioned are the satellite images of objects that look an awful lot like human corpses.
Yeah, but there's
Piles
fraud in every, Bud Russell, there's fraud in every aspect of a government deal. You know, you're not going to get to a 0% fraud, unfortunately. But I'm willing to accept a little bit of fraud happening as long as a huge amount of people are getting benefit from it. And they were. There are stories every day that talk about how USAID benefited them.
and piles of them, surrounded by stains that appear to be pools of blood. Yale labs have documented 150 of these piles around the city, mostly in areas where the paramilitaries are thought to have carried out mass killings. Most of them have since disappeared, replaced instead by
How am I?
signs
Okay,
of hasty
Joseph, I
burning.
think you're kind of schizo posting right now because how am I, a YouTuber with 260 something subscribers, how am I forcing these ideas onto you? I genuinely would like to know. I think that's an interesting question that you really need to pick your brain on.
Or burial. As the team noted in a mid-December report based on satellite imagery, quoting, RSF engaged in a systematic multi-week
Yeah, how does
campaign to
anything get done if the taxpayer decides where their money goes? I mean, you know what? I could see a system where maybe like there's certain packages you support, but at the end of the day, like if something things need funding, and there's gonna have to be a minimum amount of money that goes to those things. Like, do you like drinking tap water, Joseph? Do you enjoy tap water? Because there are agencies that test your tap water every day to make sure it's not going to kill you. Hey, what's up, Benzo Scarlet? Good to see you in the chat.
To destroy evidence of its mass killings through burial, burning, and removal of human remains on a mass scale. This pattern of body disposal and destruction is ongoing.
Joseph is a wild libertarian. You know, each country
Just
has
this
its
month,
own tax
the Sudan
rates.
Tribune published its own
No way,
investigation,
really?
concluding that, quoting, evidence of mass burials is also mounting. Sources identified several suspected mass grave sites. There are also reports of
Oh my God, we're not arguing for. I wasn't arguing for just USAID, my friend. You're arguing against taxes in general.
bodies being transported from the city to be burned or buried at night near the former refugee camp Zamzam.
That's
to
the
avoid
thing. Not everyone is stealing money. It's a very few amount of people, and we caught them. And so I don't know why the system can't continue on.
Detection. End quote. Then there are the other heartbreaking images captured by satellite. The Economist reports on the burned out remains of cars clustered next to a vast
Yeah,
earthen
but states
burn
aren't
yard.
countries. A state is a state.
ISF constructed around the city to stop civilians escaping. While the chain of events leading to this image is unknown, the likeliest explanation
And most
is that
states
residents
do
tried
have
to
their own tax rate. What are you talking about? You're a little
flee by
delusional.
vehicle only for the RSF to bombard them with artillery fire. As such, Yale Labs has
No offense.
revised its possible death toll upwards. After initially giving 67,000 as an upper bound, executive director
Federal taxes. Okay, my bad. My bad. I guess federal taxes should be done away. So you're okay with paying state taxes. Interesting.
Nathaniel Raymond told the New York Times
$9 billion. But we caught them, dude. That's not what. And we found any fraud since? Can you name one indictment that has come from Nick Shirley's video? Please, please. Name one indictment that has come. You can't, because they don't exist, because it's a witch hunt done by the Trump administration to stoke hate towards the Somali community, which is very sad in my opinion.
that at the end of 2025, 60,000 dead was now a plausible midpoint. The potential upper bound? 100,000 dead. As Raymond noted, quoting, that pace of killing would be unrivaled since the Rwanda genocide. Again, we have to emphasize that this is an upper bound.
What
Until
was
war
the Somali daycare thing? Is it just propaganda? Yeah, unfortunately, Nick Shirley did just produce a piece of propaganda. He didn't go in, he didn't send in any decoys to actually fill out paperwork. He just showed up, him, a dude named Dave, a fucking oddball named Dave, who was very interested in watching children for some reason. And then a bunch of security people, and asked to see their children. I don't think if I was a daycare owner, I would personally not allow people to see my children. And was Tim Waltz guilty of fraud or not? No, Tim Waltz is not guilty of fraud. There's no evidence to suggest Tim Waltz engaged in any sorts of fraud. See what you did there, Bud Russell? Several investigations that have not led to any indictments. The DOJ speaks through indictments, not investigations. I could be investigated for tomorrow for dropping a sack of weed. But they're not gonna but that doesn't mean I am guilty of owning a sack of weed. Anyways, I think that's something you need to really think about, bud.
crimes investigators are able to access the city, we won't be able to
I'm
get
not saying
anything
there
approaching
was no fraud in Minnesota, but the fraud that we did find, we addressed.
True.
Anyways, I think the witch
Top.
hunt
But
started
even
by
if the
the
number killed
Trump
in Al
admin
Fasher
are very
winds up being
embarrassing.
below Yale Labs' midpoint, it would still be one of the worst massacres in recent history. And that's not even taking into account the major question hanging over this entire episode. What the fuck happened to all those missing people? The missing. Just before Al Fasher fell to the RSF, the UN
By the way,
estimated...
thank you guys so much for the likes. If you guys aren't already, make sure to like and subscribe. I do a show every day. Times are going to vary for the next couple weeks, but I do a show every day where I talk about the news, politics, and so much more. So if that interests you guys, please remember to like and subscribe. By the way, there is an important poll on my channel that I recommend you guys go check out. It'll be asking if you guys want me to switch from vertical to horizontal or to stay on the vertical streams. So
that it still contained 260,000 people. Roughly 106,000 are thought to have made it to...
Snow, I actually kind of disagree. I think the two-party system does have its flaws, but what you see happen with the two-party system or the multi-party system in places like Israel, like you mentioned, for example, is right-wing coalitions have to keep coalitioning with further and further right sources until moderation is impossible for them. Disgusting fascist fuck. Thank you.
refugee camps outside of the city, often walking for days through the desert without food or water. That leaves about 150,000 people unaccounted for. As we've already established, tens of thousands of them are likely dead, but that still leaves tens of...
Leftist keywords are hurting America. I don't go out and attack federal agents. Well, yeah, you guys do. What happened on January 6th? How am I splitting hairs? What are you talking about, bud? Yeah, what about January 6th? What about all the abortion bombings that you guys have taken part in? Very interesting.
Of thousands more whose fate is just unknown. And look, we know what you're thinking. Isn't the obvious answer that all those people are dead, Simon? To which we can only say...
But
well,
if you
yeah.
guys disagree, I highly recommend going into my Discord and coming and debating me. I wasn't there. Well, I wasn't there. I wasn't there. I haven't attacked federal agents. But so for you to say that every Democrat is suggesting to attack federal agents, I think you need to stop generalizing there. The Biden administration already ruined America. See, this is an issue. You guys think that you guys really do think that America is bad. I love America. America is one of the most amazing places on this planet. And the fact that you think America sucks is embarrassing. Just want a viable third party. I can understand that. I can get that. What I would say is that the Democrats are a very wide tent and open party. Despite how the right likes to portray us, we are very wide and open to criticism and all that. Most do you. I can hear the bitch in your voice. See, that's what somebody says when they're losing an argument. So thank you for the win. I appreciate that. What did Biden do for America? Oh my God, what didn't he do? The Infrastructure Act, the Inflation Reduction Act, or bill, I should say, the American Rescue Plan. What are you talking about? The economy continued to go up. We didn't have a single month of job loss under Biden. Trump has managed to hemorrhage jobs in his first year of his second term. It's embarrassing. No, my friend, Donald Trump is the most corrupt president in U.S. history. And that's just a fact, my friend.
They may be. And if that is the case, then the fall of Al Fasher is likely the
it's just tribalism, plain and simple. They're they've been convinced that America is a hellhole, so anything that goes to fix in their mind, yeah, I guess, but America isn't broken. America is amazing. We have a couple issues like gerrymandering and the filibuster, but we can get past those, and we can pass real laws that are actually going to affect people, like actually breaking up large corporations. I think that's something that I could do in my lifetime, you know? I feel if we can get enough people behind it, we can actually break up Amazon and break up Walmart to make them far more competitive, far more fair, and to actually allow local business. Don't think anything getting done. Well, I'm sorry your local jurisdiction just doesn't care about your roads. That's not my fault that you guys are voting in Republicans. Hey, what's up, John? How are you doing today?
Bloodiest event to take place in the 21st
There are several new investigations, but the DOJ doesn't speak through investigations. They speak through what? Indictments, ladies and gentlemen.
century so far. But there are alternatives. Fates that, by some measures, maybe even
Oh
worse.
yeah, I forgot. Joseph is all for like political conclaves. It's very political enclaves. It's very weird.
Death. And there are signs that Al-Fasha's missing, maybe suffering them right now. The Sudan
And
Tribune-
Donald Trump's the one for big corporations. What are you talking about? This is some supreme cope in chat. And Joseph, I love you, man, but you can't just spam my chat. You're going to be in timeout for just a little bit, bud. Just 5 minutes. 5 minutes and you can come back once you've learned your lesson.
For example, reports
Anyways,
that the RSF set up a
we've
network
got
of
some
secret
major
detention
cope in
centers
chat saying, see how you can't advocate, you can't support action Trump is doing, so you have to try to attack us and say we support protecting illegal immigrant criminals. I do not support protecting illegal criminals, my friend. I support illegal immigrants coming out of the shadows and gaining citizenship. I'm sorry you guys are just not capable of understanding that. Wow, they always count COVID job losses. Well, he didn't have a single day where he lost jobs. So I'm sorry that that's a hard concept for you guys to grasp. What you can look at is the actions right now. And right now, Donald Trump is hemorrhaging jobs. So plus they loved gaslighting and acting like you are the problem. Amen. Like, I do not think my fellow Americans, even in the Republican Party, are the problem. I think that America needs the two parties to be working together to be going towards a common goal. And I think this constant division is very bad for us. And I think it all starts with the DJT himself. I'm a broken record when it comes to debating MAGA on immigration. It's tiring. I know.
across the city, hidden in buildings as diverse as
Biden
the local.
inherited, oh, I love this, 1.4 inflation rate and signed 2 massive spending bills, over 9%. What was it down to? What was the inflation rate down to by the time Biden left office? Biden can't control Russia invading a foreign nation, ladies and gentlemen. That's just not what he can do. He doesn't have that power. As much as you guys want to believe in a shadow group, they simply don't exist.
Local university student dormitories and the city's Grand Mosque. To quote their coverage,
Nope, not true. Not true. Biden, look at Biden's job loss. He did not have a single month of job loss. His economy was girthy and it was strong.
these facilities,
I'm sorry,
RSF fighters
your
reportedly subject
guys' is
civilians to
not.
murder, rape, torture, starvation, and financial extortion.
By the way,
Condition-
guys, thank you so much for the likes and subscriptions. It really means a lot to me. And the reactions, too, are really huge. Thank you guys so
Is said to be
much.
horrific, with deaths from disease and starvation common in the worst detention centers. Perhaps
Yeah,
even
right,
bigger.
Chad?
is-
Mr. Briggs is just factually incorrect. But that's okay. Sometimes they just don't know that. So now that they know that information, and you can even Google it if you'd like, Girthy. Yeah, he had a girthy economy. What can I say?
Is the fate of female detainees in Sharla prison, where sources described, quote,
Yeah, big girth in the Biden economy. It was very powerful. You know, I feel bad that this, how am I splitting hairs? Okay, my friend, just because I say something you disagree with does not mean it's, splitting hairs. Trump was too evil to hope. Biden was not aware of anything going around him, and fraud was rampant. Well, my friend, fraud is rampant under the Trump administration, and I am going to be so excited when when AG Tish James gets in there and really goes to town.
Deadly reports of sexual violence against female detainees.
If that were true, we would not have need for unemployment offices. That's cope beyond a level I don't even know if I can address, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even know if I can address that.
End quote. Other groups have accused the RSF of herding detainees into shipping containers and burning them alive. But while it seems likely the RSF
Yeah,
are
Mr. Briggs, you're right. You're right.
hostages in awful conditions, this doesn't seem likely to account for all of the missing. A report in December by the African Center for Justice and Peace Studies,
Biden
or
just hired
ACJ,
tons of federal workers. Oh yeah, that's why the plans like the Ukraine arms deal, yeah, they just rented those out to government ammunition making facilities, right? Oh, those don't exist? Oh, okay, got you. Those don't exist. Yeah, that's some supreme cope, my friend. This is the supreme levels of cope that I'm talking about that come from the right. It's very sad. Fraud is way worse under Trump. They only care about fraud when it's the enemy doing it. Amen. We see you, girlfriend. Well, I'm very glad that you're in touch with your effeminate side, Vinny. That's something, I'm glad you're proud of that.
APS suggests that at least 7,300 civilians have been captured by the paramilitary.
Inflation rate was rising before the war? Dude, this is such cope because we saw the results of Biden's economic policy. We saw inflation go down. You can't, it's like, yeah, Google is a tool, but you need to know how to actually use it, my friend. You can't just ask it questions that are going to give it confirmation bias.
Within 3 days, which is a remarkably low number considering how many people...
Something tells me you just look at the AI overview, and I don't think that's healthy. It's a good place to start, but you need to look a little deeper.
Al Fasher. That suggests that many others are elsewhere, not in the hands of the RSF, but that doesn't mean that they're safe. According to the Sudanese outlet Attar, most were likely kidnapped by herders and Arab communities living in the desert surrounding Al Fasher. Although it began as a political power struggle,
we're talking about the war in Sudan, and for some reason, the Trumpers cannot not talk about something that makes them angry. I don't get it. But,
to generals,
hey.
Sudan's civil war has taken on an increasingly ethnic component. While to American or European eyes both sides would be coded as black, the majority of those fighting for the RSF would be locally known as Arabs, members of the nomadic tribes that once ruled the deserts.
Yes, I did actually, about the Sarajevo human safari. Yes, I did. That's some heartbreaking stuff, man. It is, I'm so sorry to hear about that. About how rich foreigners would pay to go to Sarajevo. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna fuck it up. I apologize, but Sarajevo, I don't know. And would pay to essentially hunt humans in the streets. It's very sad. Why would you make that comment about the right? Because it's true. The left is miserable even when they're in power. Oh, this is just like Sarajevo when not Latin. I'll try my hardest. I'll try my hardest.
These tribes are now broadly allied with the RSF in their mission to cleanse Darfur of black Africans.
No, I'm glad we should send even more to to Ukraine. I believe they're one of the freedom fighters.
But that
One of
doesn't
the
necessarily
last
mean they're
defenders
as
of
ideologically
democracy.
committed to genocide. In fact, reporting in a TAR suggests their goal in kidnapping those fleeing al-Fasher is to exchange the hostages for cash. Not that the
Name a
Abala,
Democrat
the
state
local
or
town-
city. Wichita, Kansas. That's a growing city right now. Let's see, what else? New York City. Like, what are you talking about? There are so many Democrat cities that continue to grow. What are you talking about? No, Bud Russell, you are once again using the word splitting hairs when something goes against your narrative, which is not healthy in my opinion. Of course, Trumpers can't stop after all. How can you talk about a genocide when Biden is still alive, right? How can you talk about something that is affecting a large amount of people? It's like, it's so interesting because people will be like, oh, all you do is hate on Trump, yada, yada, yada. And anytime I try to talk about something other than Trump, all they can do is talk about Trump. It's embarrassing. But, you know, it is unfortunately a bunch of keyboard warriors. And if you guys at all disagree, come into the Discord and let me know you're there. And I'll debate you. But something tells me we've got some keyboard warriors in the chat tonight, and that's all right. You're just make sure to flex your fingers out. Rwanda genocide is really interesting to learn about and how it affects Sudan. Yeah, I think well the Sudanese crisis in itself is very interesting in my opinion. It's very sad and very bloody, but I think we're really, yeah, in short, fuck the UAE. Amen, dude. The UAE gets away with so much too. And that's why we need a functioning international, like we need a functioning UN.
The camel herders treat their captives well. Here's a representative extract from Batar's reporting about the experiences of 32-year-old Mohammed Bakit and a small group of men that he traveled with. Quote, Bakit recounted that they were suspended by ropes.
Crime
at
is
night and
out of
bound
control in NYC. Where are you seeing that? Dude, the nation is at a 30-year low in crime. I don't know what you're talking about. Thank God for Memdani. Amen. Amen.
the sun by day for 3 days, whipped until the marks were imprinted on their bodies, and denied food and water. On the 4th day, their captors demanded that they call their families to arrange a financial ransom, threatening to kill them if the payment was not made. End quote. In Bakit's case, his family managed to pay up, and he was eventually released near the town of Tawila. Other men held alongside him were executed when their relatives couldn't find the money. Beyond kidnapping for ransom, there are signs that civilians may be being held for other reasons. New Humanitarian reported one man at the Tawila refugee camp who claimed he and others were taken to a small clinic by RSF fighters where blood was being harvested from young men. Whether that's true or not is impossible to say.
My god, this is cope. You know, I'm sorry that facts go against your feelings, but let's hear it from Mike. Can you try and be honest and not make it sound like the left doesn't have a narrative? Both sides have a narrative. Bro, this is just cope. This is just cope.
Certainly, it does sound lurid, like a tabloid story, but then so
And
do
Mr. Briggs is yet again showing himself to be very un-American, as he is hoping that an American city goes bankrupt. How embarrassing. You guys realize what you're saying, right? Like, I don't know if you guys do or not.
many of the documented acts RSF fighters have filmed themselves undertaking. This is just not a group bound by
Facts don't care about your feelings. Thank you very much.
ordinary
don't.
ideas of morality. Not even close. In short, then, the missing civilians of Al-Fasher may not be dead.
By the way, I don't know if I told you guys, today will be a little bit of a shorter stream, so I'm gonna try to get through this so we can get to the loner box
But they may
debate.
also be trapped in a kind of living death. The lucky ones held captive by Arab herders until their families can pay a ransom. The unlucky ones disappeared into RSF torture centers, as bleak as anything constructed in Syria during the Assad regime. However, we didn't want to make this video only about the aftermath of al-Fasher. While its fall was undoubtedly one of the worst war crimes committed in decades, it's not like the rest of the war has been a model of gentlemanly conduct. As such, it's time for us to turn our attention to the wider
Amen,
conflict.
Benza Scarlet. Do you live near any large red cities? I'd much rather live in NYC than a city like Birmingham, Alabama. Hey, fucking
The reasons
man.
to fear that another al-Fasher might soon be upon us. But before we move on to the next part of today's horror show, it's time for just a little bit of a breather.
Oh,
Front this and over conflict, and into in-depth piece, neither the Iron Room sounds like you must keep producing like Sudan YouTube. And now back to the tragedy of Sudan's incredibly overlooked war. The next al-Fasher. So, when the war in Sudan erupted in April of 2023, plenty of analysts cautioned that if it didn't end quickly, it would take on an increasingly ethnic dimension, one likely to make the fighting ever more bitter and entrenched. Well, over 1,000 days later, those analysts can take a grim satisfaction in knowing that they were absolutely right.
yeah, these people want to see American cities do poorly. It's embarrassing. Like, why would you want an American city to do poorly? Didn't you want to make America great again? I don't get this hate towards like I really just I can't even put it into words because it doesn't make sense to me.
Sudanese social media is alive with what we might call hate speech,
Mike, I'm 5,000 years old, so
dehumanizing rhetoric aimed at entire groups that one side suspects of collaborating with the other. As the independent journalistic outfit Sudan War Monitor recently noted, there are significant risks of further ethnic killings as Sudan appears to be continuing down a path of more war, ethnic hatred, and a cycle of revenge. In Darfur, the contours of this are already clear enough. The RSF is on a mission to finish what its predecessor organizations, the Janjaweed, started in 2003, the complete eradication of all non-Arabs from the region. Even before the horrors of al-Fasher, the paramilitary
dude, they really are like bots. Like, they can't talk about anything else but Donald Trump, and that's okay.
militaries were
I
accused
feel
of the mass
bad
killing
for
of
you, but
minorities, most notoriously
that's
in
what
two
you gotta do,
massacres
that's
in the
what you
city
gotta
of
do.
Al Janina, where about 15,000, mostly Masalit, are thought to have died. But as the war has dragged on, ethnic killings have begun to spread to other regions.
Buddy, I don't need America to fail to retake the White House. Republicans have already shown themselves not to care about the people of America. I have no need for the country to fail to win back the White House.
And they are no longer only being carried out by the RSF. That was the conclusion of a joint investigation by Sudan War Monitor, Lighthouse Reports, and CNN into the massacres of Kanabi farming communities in Al Jazeera State, this time last year as the Sudanese armed forces closed in on Khartoum. One of the key battles in the drive on the city was retaking the Jazeera State capital of Wad Madani from the paramilitaries, a resupply point surrounded by a network of irrigation canals and farmland worked by black Sudanese with roots in Darfur and Kordofan. According to reports at the time, confirmed by this new investigation, the army's victory was accompanied by atrocities against the Kanabi, ranging from the burning of villages to the killing of civilians. The Sudan War Monitor writes, quoting the
Oh, geez. I do not play these partisan politics, dude. I promise you I don't. There's plenty of people in my chat that disagree with me. And I'm very pragmatic in my views. Whatever is going to help America and help its people, I'm for.
again,
But I know you keep spamming that. But yes, the inflation rate, I'm sure it was 7.2% before the Ukraine war started. I'm sure. I'll just take you at your word. But it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, he left the White House at a 3.4, 3.1, I think it was, inflation rate.
SAF and allied forces arrested large numbers of Kanabi residents, killed them, and threw their
And I
bodies
don't even know
into
if
the
that's
main
true.
irrigation canal.
I don't want to take the
End quote.
time to Google because
On
I do
social
have
media,
to,
pro-army accounts
like I
celebrated
said,
the
be a little
massacre
quicker
as
here.
just desserts for collaborating with the RSF. But the new report suggests something far more cynical, that the SAF and their allies in the Islamic movement deliberately courted ethnic militias such as the Sudan Shield Forces and Liberation of Al Jazeera Forces with anti-Kanabi rhetoric to swell their
Oh, jeez. I guess
ranks ahead
you
of
guys
the drive
just
on
can't
Khartoum.
talk about anything
One source
else.
even claims
It's
that
sad.
the order to slaughter the Kanadi came directly from the Kizan, a Sudanese slang term meaning Islamist politicians. We mention all of this not to engage in weak tea both sides rhetoric. As we've noted in the past, the SAF are definitely not good guys, and they stand accused of horrific war crimes. Yet even their worst acts, they pale beside the Baroque cruelty and the wholesale depopulation of cities carried out by the RSF. Rather, we mention it to show just how much more brutal the war has become as it drags on. How the genocidal glee of the RSF is now being complemented by ethnic massacres carried out by the army and the growing influence of Islamist elements associated with the old regime of former dictator Omar al-Bashir. And that suggests something truly concerning. That there will only be more atrocities, that Al-Fasher may not be the climactic horror of this war, but simply the beginning of a new and awful chapter.
Oh my God.
Look, we
Okay, Mike, if you want me to address what you're saying, are you saying that people on the left aren't rooting against Trump? Did I say that at all? Did I say that? No, I didn't say that. Anyways, I guess since we can't talk about we can't be big boys and talk about something that isn't Donald Trump, so I guess we'll just move on. We can't talk about anything that's not Donald Trump and your dear leader. It's very embarrassing. But I guess we'll just move on. We'll move on to something you guys will be able to chew on. You'll be able to eat on this one. Because it's talking all about the Minnesota shooting. So I think you'll be able to really chew on this one, guys. And finally, you'll be able to actually, I don't know, engage with what's on the screen. Hopefully. Let me see if we get to it. Let me skip forward a little bit.
Let's kick this pig.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna go over a few topics. Most of it'll be like a lot of it'll be me asking you guys questions and kind of setting you up for parts, but you guys are.
I know. Hopefully this will. I just do not see, like, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to just continually talk about Donald Trump. Like, you guys are doing what you guys accuse me of doing. And I think that's sad. Yeah, Lars, how did you know that that's what I support? How did you know I support that? No, I don't support people tracking their owners on a website. Are you fucking joking? Lars, could you... I feel like you'd be a fun person to debate in Discord with. You should come into my Discord and back those up.
Are also
I
free
really
to engage
think
with
that'd be
one
a fun
another
time for all of
here
us.
and there. At first, I'll kind of ask each one of you questions, and then you guys. Oh wait, they can't hear me. Okay,
We can hear you.
crap.
You
I got
never hear the left criticize themselves about anything? Bro, what are you talking about? Nice rebuttal? Well, what am I supposed to say to that? What am I supposed to say? Maybe break into federal vehicles and steal an FBI file? Why would I support that? I'm back like that one annoying itch under your skin. Well, welcome back. I hope you're doing well.
Can hear you.
The chat can't hear me.
Oh.
Yeah, Lars, you were basically fighting with a shadow. How am I supposed to respond to that?
Well, they're just a chat.
Okay, that should.
Yeah, leftists are famous for infighting. We literally had an entire little civil war about Israel, a country That is fucking halfway across the world. Okay? So calm down.
That should have fixed that. And then, but yeah, we'll kind of allow you guys. It'll be pretty free flowing, so you guys are able to just kind of engage here and there. We'll and the plan is to go to 11. We're starting obviously 45 minutes late. So, does anybody have like a hard out at 11? Anybody need to be out? Right then?
What time zone are you in, Tom?
Eastern time.
You're in Eastern.
So this guy that's talking right now, I don't know who he is, but he's not very prominent in this debate. I'm gonna be honest. It's really just Loner and Soy versus Motorsports.
So
here.
I have a hard out in about 2 hours.
Okay.
It was just kind of
That's okay.
impromptu, you know? Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it's about the same
Yeah.
time. Okay.
Trust me, we've got some veterans of the leftist wars in here from both sides, so that's not the title of the show. That's just a prompt. That's just a prompt. And it's really just to rage bait you guys, to be honest.
All right. We will get started then.
All right.
We have a new panel show that we're going to be doing here. This is the first one that we're doing. Today is 1/16/2026. It is 8:45 p.m. Today we're going to talk about ICE, immigration, and the Renee Good shooting. We're going to start off by... Okay. Sorry,
Hey,
my
why are
screen.
you going after Keke? He was one of you guys. He wanted to make Finland great again. Why are you going after him? What did he do to you?
It's messing up. We're going to start off by introducing everybody. We got Lonerbox here on the left with Soypill. Both of them stream, I believe, on YouTube and Twitch. Is that correct?
I've moved away from Twitch, but for the most part, yeah.
I don't
Okay.
talk like that. Oh, my bad. I don't talk like that, you little baby.
And then we've got, is it Kung Fu
Fun
Joe?
fact, the Oxford word of the year of 2025 is rage bait. That's crazy.
Where do you stream Kung Fu Joe?
I mostly stream on Twitch, but I'm currently
All right, let's
Again, for those of you Tennessee, so as well.
let's get past this.
One side believes that this was murder. The other side believes this was fully justified. Grid One Motorsports. What was your thoughts on the confrontation?
You're as far from big boy as anyone could be. Don't worry. You haven't read my comments anymore. You'll be down 4 listeners. Goodbye. Well, peace out, man. I appreciate you coming in. Oh yeah, Soy Pill's here. Soy Pill is a fun... We love the Soy Pill.
I think it was the shooting was good, but there were some
By the way, he says this motorsports guy says some crazy shit later
definitely
on.
some
so
procedural sort of
I'm
things
excited to
that
get to it.
could have been handled a little better if I'm to armchair quarterback it. Of course, I wasn't there.
Oh, no
so.
wonder I have no followers. Bye, dumbass. Well, guys, if you want to support the Libcuck Island I'm building out here, please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Looks like we're probably about to be down a couple subscribers, so hold on and get ready for the famine that's about to occur. I'm really afraid.
So what do you mean procedural issues? What do you think?
Well, I mean, well, first of all, I think I actually don't have that big a problem with him walking in front of the car because he was trying to get out of the way, and he didn't really have any reason to believe that she was going to skate off like she did. That part I don't really. That part's like the lesser of the evils. The biggest concern I had was that when his partner was confronting her, he was documenting everything, and I felt like he should have been kind of behind his partner, kind of in the position he ended up in. But
Yeah, he was being a dumbass and decided to fucking record the van for some reason. Fucking so weird, dude. What did the
I
body
didn't see.
cam
I don't understand
have
why he
that?
felt like he needed to document her license plate and all of that. Maybe that's a federal procedure, the way they do that. But that's really the only thing. I just didn't I kind of didn't really understand why he took the time to walk around the vehicle and all of that.
Wonderbox, did you have an issue with him standing in front of the vehicle the way he did?
Yeah, it was a moving car. Whether it's reversing or not, I feel like when a car is on and it's
Ah,
moving,
in my planet, that's my fellow planet, Loner Box. I'm an orbiter of good old Loner there. God bless him. He brings up a point that I bring up pretty often. A car, this is a little spoiler, but a bullet is not going to stop a moving car. So, Ross has a history of violating the Constitution, by the way. Well, that's not good. Are you talking, which one is this, Ross? I don't know who that guy is. He didn't really, you didn't understand filming the license plate? Well, I'm assuming one of them wrote it down. Have we become so lazy that we can't write things down, people? Have we truly become that lazy? And what are the standards that an ICE agent can just bust his phone out?
whether it's reversing or not, I don't know. There's no good reason to stand in front of it.
Yeah, he
and
was
it's-
obviously trying to find an issue to arrest him, to arrest her. Well, when a federal agent tells you not to move when she wasn't moving to begin with, she was parked. Not in a high tense situation like that. Well, it only became high tense after the officer aimed their gun and shot her. I don't think she was blocking a federal agent. What the fuck are you talking about? No, she wasn't, dude. Oh my, she literally let the ICE van past her. What are you talking about? She wasn't blocking anything. And even if she was, is the penalty for blocking an ICE agent death? That's what I need you to ask yourself.
It seemed like he was quite nonchalantly pacing quite slowly in front of it, even as she started reversing for the 3-point turn. So, yeah.
Well, I personally don't think that he was justified in shooting her. However, what I will say is that this would all be cleared up by a fair and even investigation, which the DOJ is not conducting. She ran over an ICE cop. Well, I'm so glad you bring that up because Motorsports
I
brings
have
that
no
up
idea
here,
why you would put yourself in that
it's some
situation.
similar code.
We can go over some case law, like
That's
in
fine,
relation
dude.
to
I'm
it
not mad at you. Yeah, that's actually what someone says when they kill people, believe it or
as
not.
well. But as far as I know, it's easy. Throwing yourself in front of a moving car like that is just like a very, very stupid thing to
Deadly
do.
force with a deadly weapon. Oh my god, this is some cope. This is some cope.
And typically, the
The
argument seems to
FBI
be
is investigating? Well, I don't believe. Yeah, they're investigating Renee Good, not the family. Or not the officer. They're investigating Renee Good, not the officer.
the cop's making is that he was.
We all saw the video. She hit the cop with the car here, dipshit! Assault with a deadly weapon! Delusional twink! Why are you calling me a delusional twink? I think that's just because you're very attracted to me, which I understand. I'm a very good-looking young man, but that does not mean you get to keep calling me a twink. It's very strange.
in fear for his life and he had to defend himself from the car. Well, if you're standing in front of a car and you think it's going to move towards you, 9mm is going to be a lot less
Oh, well, I'm
reliable.
good to hear we're full-blooded, our words. What does a half-blood R word look like? Is it whatever MAGA is?
than stepping out of the way. So
They're not investigating the whole situation. Please show me where the DOJ has said, we are investigating the ICE agent, Jonathan Ross. We're investigating the death of Renee Good. That's not what they say. No,
I don't know,
username.
dumb
I
fuck.
think
And
you
obviously, I
guys
think
are
you watch the
coping
video
hard.
and you see the like little whoa when he supposedly either lightly gets hit or bumps his phone or whatever else. And then he
Well, hey,
shoots her
this
and
full-blooded retard is getting you to watch his stream. So what does that mean?
says fucking bitch afterwards under his breath. It seems like I don't know. It seems like the car bumped him as she was getting away, and he just got angry, and that's why he shot. So, yeah, fucking quite mental.
Joe, did you think the shooting was justified?
Depends on what you mean by justified, because obviously we're going to be looking at it through two different lenses. We're going to look at it through a legal lens and a moral lens. I think legally, he's probably going to walk. Morally, though,
When you say
it
legally,
seems
he's
like
probably going to walk, do you mean that you think it's legally justified? Like if he went to court, he's not going to have any issues? Or are you saying you don't think
Oh, here we go. Internal bleeding can literally be a fucking bruise, dude. Don't come to me with that weak bullshit of internal bleeding that we don't even know if true, because this was all put out by the Department of Homeland Security, who is anything if not partisan right now.
they're even going to investigate it to where he would ever go to court?
no,
in
not
first
the,
place?
well. What I'm just saying is like,
Jeremiah, if you are jealous of how many subscribers I have, please just make your own channel. Otherwise, can you please stop? This is essentially pocket watching. This is pocket watching on a YouTuber level.
me not being a very legally minded person. I mean, I could very well be wrong, but just kind of from looking at it alone, away from
Yeah, you don't contribute much to this.
If he went to
convo,
court.
brother.
Okay. And do you think he's going to go to court? Do you think they're going to actually take him?
like I said, I'm not very
No,
studious
he should say no, but he knows that Trump's DOJ is behind this investigation. But a truthful person would say no
on
here.
like legal matters, especially. I don't know if it's going to fall within like a state jurisdiction or like federal. Like all those are details that I wouldn't be able to really tell you.
Do you think he's going to go to court, Soy Pill?
That's entirely depends on whether or not the state decides to prosecute. I think if this is left to the federal government, they will do absolutely nothing. In their opinion, they can lie and say anything that he did was completely justified. They say, "Oh, he got ran over," which clearly didn't happen. If left to the DHS or anyone else, ICE, to investigate this internally, nothing's going to happen to him. If the state decides to independently prosecute, I think they have maybe a case. I think the ridiculous thing is like, there's maybe a case here where it's like, oh, maybe he was justified. But this is not what the narrative that is coming out from the right is. The narrative from the right is everything was 100% justified. You can clearly see it on video. This video exonerates him. In fact, he should have shot her more times. She had it coming. Fuck around and find out.
Yeah,
No one
for real, Snowset. Awfully transparent today, honestly.
is approaching this on the right from any amount of nuance. It is just completely lies from the administration. That's why Trump and Kristi Noem lied about it. I think if you watch the video, it's pretty clear that this guy was not in danger. If he has internal bleeding, as they've said, which is yet to be verified, I bet it was like a little bump. You can see that he does not get knocked over. He does not get forcefully pushed in any way. It looks like he has his arm on the car and is kind of slid back on the ice. I don't think anything here justified shooting her in the head. And this is all to say, sanity check, a car can absolutely kill you. And I've seen many videos of cops justifiably shooting unarmed people in cars. This did not look like one of them. And I think that people are saying otherwise are just incredibly partisan.
Brent, do you
Amen. Soy Pill speaking
disagree with that?
facts right now.
I mean, yeah, I'd agree with that. I disagree with parts of it. Yeah, for sure. It looks like the officer's in the hospital right now with internal bleeding. So I'm not really, this
He's not in the
really
hospital.
touched him kind of rhetoric falls flat, I guess. But so I mean, I guess
Wait, Grid,
barely
he's
touch
not in the
him.
hospital. Can we acknowledge that? He's not in the hospital right now?
Whole admin will
last
be in
report I saw,
prison
do
when
you-
this is all said and done. Fucking man. Well, that's if Trump doesn't pardon himself. Is this Dan Bongino's like secret account. I don't know why, but I've just got this really big feeling that Bo Viper is actually Dan Bongino in a costume. I don't know why. I've just got that feeling. Hey, what's up, Tomfoolery Show? How you doing? It's been a while. How have you been, dog? Hopefully you've been well. It's been a while since you've been here, dog. I hope you're doing well, man.
Do you have one that's different? Because last report I saw said that he was.
The last
still in-
report was when he went to the hospital, they reported he had internal bleeding. He is not still in the hospital
Okay.
9 days later.
Sure. I don't actually follow his every move.
Unverified bovine. Unverified.
So
It's
sure.
a bovine.
Okay, well, this would be
crow.
important information to know for this
Been
debate.
good,
don't-
man? Hey, that's great
Honestly,
to
it
hear.
doesn't make a difference to my point.
It makes a huge
has-
difference. If
he
he was
has-
still in the
he had
hospital, he
internal
would have
bleeding,
been
correct?
had
I
an
mean, are you
actual severe
disputing
injury.
that
I
he
actually
had
need to
internal
get into
bleeding?
contact
Just to be
with you
clear,
Well,
we,
here soon about going on some debate panels. I know you host them, so
He's saying,
just to be
he's saying for
clear,
the overall conversation, it would be important to acknowledge that he's not currently in the hospital, because if he's still in the hospital over a week later, that would be a much more serious injury than it would have been if he just went to the hospital for an hour and left.
yeah,
right?
can we just get a reminder as well that this was obviously, it was two anonymous officials who told this to CBS. We agree that like the wording there that's very broad. You know, a bruise is like internal.
yep, bet I will for sure. I'll go into your Discord after I'm done streaming. Good luck on the live today, man. I hope you have a good show.
Bleeding, right?
Well,
Did you know that, or is that news to you?
I don't know because I wasn't there and I don't have that information, and neither do you.
Well, first of all, you said that he was still in hospital with internal bleeding, as if to make it sound he wasn't just
Well,
bumped. Do you think if he had suffered to any serious
But hold
degree,
on,
like we wouldn't
you
be hearing the
literally said
details
that
of
he
it?
barely even got hit, if he got hit at all, and
Right,
now you're
we're-
going.
we're
"Oh,
basing
but
that
he
off of-
hit."
Tom, you did a really good job moderating here. I just wanted to say that before you head out. You did a very good job moderating.
The
It's
video that
internal
we saw with our
bleeding.
Yeah,
who
it doesn't
cares?
look
Could
like he
just be a
got-
bruise, whatever.
Yeah,
Why
it doesn't
does
look
the
like he got
internal bleeding
seriously hurt.
matter? Why does that part
Yeah,
matter?
what? You-
Why does it matter?
So
Well,
as-
because
as
this
we
is the
said, like, as far as
justification
how-
Why
used-
does it matter?
because that's the justification used by the administration to say this man was severely hurt. That's what they imply by saying he suffered internal bleeding, as in he was justified for taking this woman's life because this could have been much
If
worse
he was
for
hit
him.
or
That is-
wasn't, he stupidly went in front of the SUV. He escalated tensions. Tried to escape, and the masked thug trying to enter her vehicle. Well, I really do. You really do gotta wonder, like, what was his reasoning for being in front of the vehicle? You know, it really did feel like he was trying to provoke a reaction from her. And also, something I want to point out that Lonerbox does point out here is you can't stop a bullet with a car. Or, God, I always fuck that up. You can't stop a car with a bullet. You know, and we saw the result of the shooting as her car continued on and crashed into another vehicle. So,
that is the implication by saying he has internal bleeding. I think if that is even true, it's probably a bruise, and if it's a bruise, it's because he had his hand on the car and got pushed a little out of the way, and maybe his like phone hit it because he's resting his phone on the car hood. Yeah, like this is not like he got hit and spun out, and his ribs are broken. Like the implication here is that he, like Trump and Kristi Noem said, he got run over, which didn't.
all caps don't make you right. Well, that's something we're trying. I'm sorry, that's very
Happened.
true.
This is a lie.
That is, but unfortunately, it seems MAGA has not quite gotten that message quite yet.
Do we agree with that? Do
I
we
just
agree
don't
that-
know
Well,
why.
hold on.
Do we all agree that what Trump said
We
was
use
a
the
lie?
term "run over" when cars barely touch people. We still say, "Yeah, he got run over." He got hit by a
No,
car.
we
No,
don't.
no, wait,
Run
wait.
over
Trump
implies
didn't,
you got
Trump
like
didn't just
Well,
say
hit by
maybe
a
you
car.
don't, but colloquially, I know people that do. So I mean, you can say whatever
Yeah, the MAGA mating call. Do some research.
you feel like colloquially, and I can say yes.
Wow,
we
you guys
do
are killing it in chat
use this
today.
type
Okay.
of language.
Grid, when you're in a parking lot and you back up and you accidentally ding a car, do you say, "Damn, I just ran over that car," or do you say, "Oops, I bumped into that car"?
It's a car. You can't go.
I would say I hit the
you can't
car.
go over a car.
Okay.
You
I
go
would
over a
literally
person,
say I
though.
hit the car.
If you
I
bumped
wouldn't say I
if
bumped the
you
guy. I would
bumped-
say, yeah, I
if
hit the
you-
car.
if you bumped your wife going 1 mile an hour, would you say, "Damn, I ran over my wife"?
If I like knocked her down
hold on.
in a
Yeah,
way
if I
to
knocked her
You
down, I'd say,
bumped
yeah, I
her.
ran over my,
Let's say you
my
bumped
wife.
her going 1 mile an hour. She did not get knocked down. Would you say this is running over your wife?
Maybe, I don't know. It would
Okay, the
depend on
answer
how
is
far
no,
she
because obviously
flew
you
afterwards,
wouldn't.
right?
She
I mean,
didn't fly at all.
Right. Well, I
Um,
don't know because
Well,
I've never
so
hit my
Phil-
wife at
okay,
1
so
mile an
She
hour.
was still
hold on,
standing
wait.
afterwards.
I
Hold
don't
on,
know
wait,
because
so
I've never
wait,
hit my
hold-
wife at 1 mile an hour.
Hold on one
so.
second. So
Yeah,
the
you'd probably go
car
faster.
like touched him at some point. Yes.
Mhm,
Soy Bill?
yes, it looks like the car touched him. Now, whether or not this is because he leaned over onto the car or because the car, was still making the turn away from him, it's impossible for me to say. I mean, like, this is all just speculation based on what we see in the video. It does not look to me like this man was run over. 2, he was not knocked down, which a lot of people are saying, which is insane to me. Actually, Michael Knowles was claiming
Oh,
he
by
was
the
knocked
way,
down
guys,
on Wednesday.
Tom
That's like he
Fullerishow
couldn't
was in
admit that this
chat
is just
earlier. Go give him love and support. He's the one that hosted this panel, and I think he did a really good job in moderating. I just thought I might put that out there.
patently not true. But run over is like just false by every use of that word. I don't know how you could
I
possibly
just
say run
don't.
over.
I don't see why this matters at all. Soy, what do
Well,
you
it
think
It
he was
matters because this is
reacting
what
to?
the
Hold on,
admin
I
that
wanna-
is defending him is claiming.
Wait. I just want to.
But that's
I'm
not.
gonna hang on.
That's
I'm
not.
gonna.
You
I'm
don't
gonna
need
give
that.
one. Hang
You
on.
don't need that
Hey,
defense.
I'm going to give one olive branch to the right wingers away from Soy Bill. Yeah, if someone says hit by a car, that can range from like a slight bump to you just got like rammed at 100 miles an hour and every bone in your body is broken. Okay, I understand that. However, do we agree that saying that she violently, willfully, and viciously
Hey, I don't.
ran over
hold
the
on,
ICE
this is a
officer
good point.
who seems to have shot her in self-defense, and that based on the clip, it's hard to believe he's alive?
We don't know.
Is
So,
that
okay,
a lie or no?
I'm not going to assign any.
All right. So what we don't do, ladies and gentlemen, you can do a lot of things in my chat. You can do a lot of things. But what you can't do, you can't be homophobic, and you cannot celebrate the death of Renee Good. And I don't think you should be allowed to call her a dipshit that is a B word. So while I'm going to just put you in timeout for 10 minutes, but that was an American citizen life who was lost, and I don't believe in celebrating that. I don't believe in calling her a B word, or I really don't. I'm
Motivation
sorry,
to her.
you guys won't get banned from my please watch something other than Fox News, please. Well, we're hoping they can do that.
Because I don't know what her motivation was. All we know is that her wife said, "Drive, baby, drive." Now that sounds like encouragement to flee. Okay, that does not sound like, "Hey, calmly drive away and avoid hitting the officer with the vehicle."
Okay, I also do want, this is like perfect example of 2020 vision, 2020 hindsight. Perfect example of it.
That seems
Precisely.
like something that seems like an aggravated response. You can disagree, that's fine. We do know that the vehicle hit him. We know that. That's not in dispute. You can keep saying it brushed him. You can say it teased his hair, whatever the fuck you want to say. The vehicle hit him.
That's what Ross called her? Yeah, I know. I know, dude. That is so sad, honestly. God, how can you not say that was purposely, how can you not say that was not, he didn't want that to be the outcome of his actions? I just don't get it.
Danger. And in that moment, he was, in fact, I don't know how you guys are, I don't know what kind of mental cartwheels you're doing to say otherwise. He is absolutely justified to draw his weapon and end that threat. I'd honestly, it's insane to me that you're saying that you in that position, that you would not do that same thing. Assuming you had,
I wouldn't be in that position.
I don't know. You guys may not.
You mentioned like mental. You mentioned mental cartwheels.
That's a total dodge.
You mentioned mental cartwheels. What was my question? What did I ask you?
Yeah.
What did you ask me?
Yeah.
Well, I thought we'd already answered what I asked you, and I'd moved on.
So what did I ask you? Can you just remind me? No, wait. Can you just remind me what I asked you? Have you forgotten what I asked you?
Yeah, I have. We
Oh,
moved
so
on.
you just rambled for like 30 seconds
No,
to a
I
minute,
didn't ramble.
having no fucking
I
idea what I
assumed
just
that-
asked you.
I
You just
assumed that
ignored
we
my
had
question. Am I
answered
here
the
right now?
question about
Am I a human
if
being?
a car
Sorry,
had
what
hit
the fuck?
somebody.
I do see, Rhino Raider, I do see what you mean by those still supporting may be too far gone, but just like exactly Snowstat, I still try, you know? They're my fellow Americans, and I really can't. It breaks my heart, the idea of so many Americans just being fooled by this loser, dude. It really does. It just breaks my heart, dude. It does. Sorry. I thought about my fellow Americans being betrayed, and it made me sad. I apologize. I am a human.
I assume that we had answered the question about whether or
I'll
not
ask
the
you
car had
again.
hit somebody.
Okay, I will ask you again. I'm
Sure.
asking you, if someone had said that what happened here was that she violently, willfully, and viciously ran him over, and that based on the clip, it
I don't want another civil war. We need unity. Yeah, that's what I try to preach here. You know, I try to make this. I know I am very, you know, I'm on the left, but I try to have an open dialogue with people and engage in good faith conversations. But
it's
it is
hard to
difficult
believe he
on
is alive.
occasion.
If someone said that, you think that would be an accurate characterization of what happened?
I keep getting.
Repeat that again. 'cause
That's
there's
what
a-
mental
there's some
cartwheels look.
language in
If
there.
anyone wants
There's
to
some
know what
language in there I
mental
wanna
cartwheels
parse
look
out.
like, yeah. So
No.
if someone had said
There's some
that,
language in there I want to parse out.
Wait,
Yeah,
yeah,
if someone had said
Leonard,
that-
to be fair, Grid is really slow. I genuinely think he's processing this. You might have to repeat it.
I'm not gonna lie. Soy and Loner are like the duo I was not expecting I needed, but now that they have joined forces, I think they're actually a pretty good duo.
If someone had said that she had willfully, violently, and viciously ran him over, and that based on the clip, it's hard to believe he is alive, would that be an accurate characterization
Actually, I
of those
agree with
clips or
that.
not?
I will agree with that. And this is why. And here's
Look at both Soy and Loner's faces. When I watched this last night, this is the part where I just could not stop laughing. Cause you watched that video. I don't even know if MAGA in my chat will say that he got viciously ran over.
why.
Okay.
Because she violently stepped on the accelerator and accelerated towards him. He had excellent reflexes. His point, he didn't draw the weapon until the vehicle almost hit.
Bro. What? Violently ran over. He is lucky to be alive. Process that one for a minute.
him, and he shot. He had about 0.2 second splits between shots, which was awesome. That's amazing. I know you don't understand how good that is, but that's fucking great. And
I know her wheels were pointed away, and like, I like debating all this granular stuff with MAGA. I do, but I feel like we've kind of already won the argument by saying sorry, I just got distracted there. I'll read your comment here in a minute, juiced boy. But oh, that kind of completely derailed me. I'm sorry. I'm still just, I cannot believe that he said that. Oh, geez. Okay, I'm cool to debate the granular details with MAGA, but what I'm shocked in is that they think that there doesn't need to be an investigation, a nonpartisan investigation. And that's what I struggle with, because the granular details, we can debate them all day, but an investigation should happen. By the way, Juice Boy says some random guy speaks is making a live stream now. He's a black American supporting Trump. Well, that's interesting. I'd love to have a debate with him sometime on why I don't agree with his support of Donald Trump. But anyways.
he hit. So all of those things, yeah. he's very fortunate to be alive. I will go to that hill.
Based on the clips,
absolutely.
it's hard to believe he's alive. Yeah, okay.
It is. It's actually hard to believe because he
Fucking
could
How
have
many
Some
near-
random guy speaks versus that guy that doesn't exist. I mean, that's a power fight right there. We're gonna have to fight for the guy title.
her run
experiences have you
has.
just like
You know, it's
Had
really
she
funny,
ju-
like,
had he just stood there like you guys are suggesting, he'd have been run over completely.
I'm sorry, when did we say he should just stand there? We said he shouldn't
Well,
have
I'm
been in
sorry.
front of the car.
What's
Well,
your
he
what's
should
your
have got
guys'
out of the way. You know, he should have
Believe
got
he
out
should
of
stand
the
there
way.
because he was
what would have been
casually.
the perfect response for you guys?
Well,
I'm dying to
The
hear.
ICE officers seemed to
Hold on.
believe. The ICE officers seemed to believe that he could just nonchalantly pace in front of the car when it's moving. So he made that decision himself.
He didn't nonchalantly pace.
Yes,
he
he
moved
was.
to help his
Well,
partner
you
who was
literally
attempting to
said he
get the
nonchalantly
woman
No, he
out
went
of the car.
around the car,
Hey,
around
this
the
is
front
how
of
you
it.
miss
Well,
this
here's
is
if
right.
it's hilarious. We can take a little detour. Let's check this out. Some random guy speaks. Let's check this out. I don't think we're gonna be getting to Benny today, and this should be good. Let's check this out. Oh, he's live right now. He's got about the same viewership of me. This could be a fun battle. Let's check this out.
Oh man, I had to do the Star Wars reference. Darth Sidious. I had to do it. I had to do it though, you know. Boy, I tell you, man, the Death Star is gonna be quite operational. It really is though. You know, so therefore you have no footing, you have no leadership, right? And you have no party. Because we're gonna take this thing down.
We
make
have
sure
no
that y'all
party.
will-
Oh, we're seeing some familiar faces here. We're seeing some familiar faces we've seen in the chat before, ladies and gentlemen. We have. Well, there's shout out to Juiced Boy in my chat, but we also have. I remember seeing what's his face? Where'd he go? Oh, there's somebody here that I've seen a couple times. Oh,
I do
this is
typos
beautiful.
Every now and then, don't make him an idiot. You know, you on the losing team, baby. How they said, oh baby, you know.
Oh, this is Cope. This is Supreme Cope from the right, ladies and gentlemen.
You need a.
Don't
you
worry,
need a
don't worry. We'll
cop,
get
girl.
back to
Oh,
the
man, you can't
content
come
here
after
soon, but
Deja
this is
like that.
Supreme Cope.
Man, Deja, you see how beautiful Deja looking, man. Deja get dates even on her worst day, and I don't even know her. Photo like that? Are you kidding me? Shoot.
Jesus. So this man is horny. He's horny. Okay. We're getting some it looks like this MAGA, some random guy speaks, is a goon, a bit of a goon.
You know what I'm saying? Shoot.
Talking about something here.
Ain't no problem. You could see her collarbones. You know, I wish I could see your collarbones, but
Bro, what the fuck? Hold on. Why is he talking about Deja's collarbones? Deja, I'm so sorry you have to withstand this psychic attack from some random guy speaks.
I can see her collarbones alone. I tell you, boy, you know, the women on the right, they're just hotter, you know? They're better looking.
That's just not true. That is just not true. Hot Girls for Mum Donnie? Anybody remember Hot Girls for Mum Donnie? I mean, come on. Oh, jeez.
A lot of
This
them
is
are
fun.
married. They don't have no problems with no man. That's all. I'm gonna tell you, fellas, man. You guys need to get yourself a conservative woman. You don't want no liberal, no with a bull ring in her nose, different color hair. Boy, that's just bad.
He's talking about something that that viciously turns him on, that he is just unable to come to terms with.
You know, she gonna stand up for every rights but your rights in the
Oh, right there, Virgil. Virgil, you may want to go to some random guy speaks chat. It seems like you would be better served in his community, because in this community we don't celebrate Americans dying. And we do not encourage Americans to die. Jesus, that is fucking brutal.
The bedroom, boy, I tell you, man. What the? Oh, man. Oh, hell no. Hell no, boy, you know. But it's okay, though. You libs, it's okay, though. You guys are not going to be able to win.
This is okay, yeah. I thought my stream was done, but this one's bad. I'm done. Have fun with your echo chamber. Dude, this is anything but an echo chamber. Anyways, that's some random guy speaks. I'm probably hold on. Does he have more content? The Mac Mini M4 is a game changer? Okay, interesting. So it looks like this guy had a bit of a pivot. He's using this sound as an argument. Oh, geez, that's great. Maybe we can get a debate going. I'll hit up Tomfoolery and maybe we can get something going. I think that would be fun. Yeah, poor Bovine does not enjoy being proven wrong again and again and again. This is also something, hold on, something I noticed with MAGA creators. I feel bad for their women audience because...
slave plantation, you know what I'm saying? And it's not going to happen, though.
Bro, what the fuck is he talking about? Oh, Bovine is here. Bovine. Oh, shit. Look, Bovine left my chat. Bovine left my chat to go somewhere else.
If that ain't a turncoat, old sellout, old bootlicking, old whatever, I don't know what is, you know? It sure
poor some random guy speaks is being used as a medium to transpond with me. Oh, look at this. Deja, we are Charlie Kirk, heart.
Yes.
Oh, dude. Okay, I can't get sucked into this world. I can't. We've got some.
He stopped to draw his gun. He could have kept taking another step, and he stopped to draw his gun.
Around the vehicle to reach his partner, who was had made the determination to arrest the woman and was attempting to get her out of.
I kind of want to periodically check back, though. Oh, sorry about that, guys. I kind of want to periodically check back, though, and see if they mention me. The left doesn't have a Charlie Kirk. Well, yeah, we do. We have Melissa Hortman. What are you talking about?
The vehicle, and that's what he was supposed to be doing. Again, you guys have a very strange way of interpreting the video.
So weird. Once one MAGA bot leaves my chat, another appears. It's very strange.
Which is fine.
A very strange way of saying this guy who goes,
there are multiple
almost
factors
died.
that we got to take into account here, guys. Like you guys are looking over a lot of factors that you're not taking into account. Like, have you guys, like, how many of you guys?
Adam, the guy on screen. Oh, the guy on screen is somebody, I'm gonna have to check in with this guy. He seems like
You guys have walked on ice
tail.
before.
Yeah, I live in Scotland.
obviously.
Yeah,
Anybody?
I live in
Has anyone? Anybody?
Yeah,
Just put your hands.
Yes, we've walked on
Okay,
ice.
great. So you've all walked on ice. Okay. So
By the way, guys, we're at 269 subs, so thank you guys so much for the love and support you guys have been giving me today. It's really awesome to see that. He doesn't like other opinions? I love other opinions. I encourage people to join the Discord and let me know when you're there and we can have a good faith discussion, but I don't know what you're talking about.
how fast can you just like take off to one side or the
Why
other?
does YouTube boot me off of here? I have no idea why they are. 269? I know, 69. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. That's why I mentioned it, to be honest. But YouTube shouldn't be booting you out of here. That's Hey, don't worry, Benzo. I saw it. But it shouldn't be booting you off of there, dog.
Yeah, not only that.
ice?
Yeah,
Wait,
I
you're
walked
telling-
You're telling me that
downhill
ice
on
is
ice
more
today.
precarious and slippery, then maybe you
Hold
shouldn't
on,
be
hold
standing
on.
in front of a potentially moving vehicle.
Well,
if
he
you're worried
already
about
Oh,
being
yeah,
able
you
to
was in
grab
front
to me? Well, thank you, Rhino Raider. I honestly really have appreciated your contributions in chat today. It's it is difficult fighting against the wave of MAGA that comes into my chat on occasion, but I appreciate the support. I really do. 69 is infinitely funnier than 6'7". Amen, dude. I have not gotten this 6'7" trend. I don't get it.
Front of
your,
it.
like footing. Yeah, well, he shouldn't have been there,
Well,
right?
okay,
This
so
has been the
wait,
wind.
he shouldn't have
Yeah.
been there, but if you're that's what you're saying. Okay, well, he shouldn't have been there. So what you're telling me is that because he made that decision, he should have died for it, right? He should have not
No,
tried
because I
to
don't think he
take
was
his
in
gun out
danger.
and defend himself.
No, I don't think
Well,
he
Yeah,
actually
how
defended
can you-
himself at this point.
Joe,
How do you
hold
know
on,
that?
Joe,
How do I
Joe,
know?
they
'Cause I
didn't
watched
say
the
that he
video.
should have died for it, but that is kind of the implication from the other side, right? Is that if he makes a mistake and goes to the wrong place, that the implication
Absolutely, I'm
would
here
be
for it,
that
my
now
friend.
she
Well,
has.
hell yeah. Soon we'll be getting debates going and stuff like that. I've really just had scheduling issues at work and stuff like that, you know. I don't ask money for anything I do really, so you know, I have to have a job, and so I scheduling has just been really difficult recently.
Has to die for his mistake, yes?
No, I'm saying, well, in a way, if you're going to be the one weaponizing the vehicle
Well, hold on,
first,
hold on.
then yeah,
He didn't make.
Well, so,
what-
okay,
didn't
so then that
weaponize
would
the
be- that
vehicle.
is
He
the
filmed her
question, is
turning the
that-
other
that- that
way.
is
she weaponized the
question.
vehicle
Hold on,
before
wait,
he
wait, wait,
he
no, hold on,
weaponized,
hold on, hold on,
started
hold on.
shooting.
Hold on, Joe. Okay, so yes, you do believe that she weaponized the vehicle as though she was like attempting to hit him, yes?
From his account, from his
You're
view,
saying he had a reasonable
guy-
belief.
listen,
that
listen.
he-
Let me
Hell yeah, that's sick.
let me explain. Okay, listen. He whatever he did, he waddled up in front of the car, right? And now
In front
what
of a moving
he
car, to be
begins
clear.
to react. So it was moving backwards. First of all,
Yes,
you
that's a
didn't know it
moving
was gonna
car. What
be-
are you talking
Even
about?
to-
Sorry, yeah.
Okay, hold
That's
on,
a
hold
moving
on, hold
car.
on, hold on, Joe.
It's totally
hold on.
fine. It's
Wait,
even safe.
hold on.
Hold on.
Joe. My question was, you're saying that he had like a reasonable fear that she was trying to hit him with the car. Yes, that's what you're saying.
Yes, and I'm explaining why. Because he already put himself in front of the car while it was going backwards.
Adma, I would say to that's not, we don't want to be in that constant state of fear. You know, cops shouldn't just instinctually draw guns on you. You know what I mean? I'm sorry you've had that experience though. That's really stupid in my opinion. You shouldn't be, like, for riding your bike, especially. That's stupid, dude. I'm sorry, that is so dumb.
He doesn't know she's going to accelerate forward with him in front of it. He's standing on ice.
And also something else to think is, you know, she probably didn't think ice, I don't know. It's impossible to know her headspace now because she's gone.
He can't just dodge like
This kid's LARPing like they're some kind of Fox revolutionary. It's a joke. Yeah, that's what I'm doing out here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't advocate for incremental change. Nope. I just advocate for the whole thing to come down. Totally. You know me so well.
you can on normal, like dry ground, right? And she hears the
In case I haven't made it very clear, I love America. This place is fucking sick. I think it's one of the best countries ever, and I don't want to completely gut the democracy that we have and turn it into something. I think we've got a good thing going, but we do need to make some changes, like getting rid of gerrymandering, getting rid of the filibuster. And these are all things that can happen in our lifetimes, in our political lifetimes too, you know? Like, this is all very fucking... I'm such a Fox revolutionary. Ooh. That's what they I think that's what they I'm not going to finish that. But you guys knew where I was
Girlfriend getting in the passenger seat, yelling, "Drive, baby, drive!"
Term limits. Well, I think term limits are interesting. Like, I support term limits on things like the Supreme Court. I don't know if I really support term limits on things like the Senate and Congress in general, because I feel like you don't get a Bernie Sanders, you don't get an AOC, you don't get a Ron Paul, you know? If term limits are implemented. So I can understand the reasoning for term limits, but I think they're more applicable in things like the in terms of SCOTUS and stuff like that.
That's what he's reacting to. He knows he probably can't get out of
But I could be convinced of a term limit deal. You know, I'm not completely set in stone on that.
the weigh-in time. Here comes the car. It grazed him. He can't. When you're this close, you can't see where the wheels are pointing.
Oh, there is a term limit on the president, luckily. But unfortunately, the Republicans seem to be all but they seem to be very hungry to get rid of that.
So I think, like,
where the wheel
in
was going.
But right now, yes, there is a term limit of 2 terms for the president.
What about when you're
Filmed her
filming it
turning the
and we can
wheel.
have we can have his direct point of view where we see her turning the wheel and we know exactly
And
which
looking
way
right
they're
at him,
pointing.
like
yeah.
You can
she's
see
aiming
the
the car.
Yes,
yeah,
and the-
his
and the clip is
camera.
looking
That's
right
his,
at her,
that's what
yes.
his camera's aiming at. That's what.
And Adam, you know, I've seen you in my chat before, so I know you're not just like a partisan, completely partisan loser. But I would implore you to think, how would you feel if after the Charlie Kirk shooting I was to say something, you know, as incendiary as what if I was to say something about gang related shootings or something like that? Like, that would be disgusting and I would be ashamed of that. So I would never. But you seem comfortable with saying things like "drive baby drive," which is an obvious dog whistle. How about limiting the amount of time you talk? Well, Stonegate, I don't think you'd appreciate that because you've been here for a while. So it seems like you're interested in something I have to say. FDR prompted the 22nd Amendment because he was a wartime president, low key, the only socialist. FDR is probably my favorite president. He was a very smart person. I'm not saying it's a good thing she died at all. It's terrible. Well, I think that I believe you when you say that. So I would just implore you not to say things like "drive baby drive," or even to imply malice on the partner. You know, I don't think the partner wanted her to die. You know what I mean? Okay, the black guy streaming is offline. Oh no, where did he go? He only streamed for 2 hours. I mean, honestly, I'm probably about no, I'll probably be streaming for another hour, but that's so sad, poor guy.
That's not his eyeballs looking at her. That's
Okay, where
his
do you think-
camera.
where do you think he's-
That woman, that is not what got her killed. That's not what got her killed. What got her killed was that gun.
Looking at.
looking
He
at
was
her.
looking at.
I
think he was
think
like-
he's looking right at her.
Where?
I think
Where's
he's
the
looking
where's
right
the
at her,
wheel? It's
not
in
at
front
the
of her
fucking
fucking
tires.
face.
Yeah, the wheel is in front of her.
And he doesn't know how
Fuck.
far the wheel is turned
So
one way
if
or the
you're-
other.
If you're backing up and you see someone and you think they're gonna hit you, would you not expect them to turn the wheel?
Also, something else you touch on a very important point, Rhino Raider. The fact that a lot of that ICE is being essentially taken over by white supremacist groups. Sorry to say, even the court will agree with you. Well, here's what I want, Adam. I'm interested to see if you're right or not, but we will never know that because the agency is not investigating the death of Renee Good. They're investigating whether Renee Good had ties to terrorist organizations. I mean, Adam, I think you would agree that she deserves an investigation. And if an American citizen dies, no matter what their political affiliation is, they deserve, or I should say, dies by means other than like natural or her own. But white people built this country? No, they did not build this country. So many different varieties of people built this country. You know, you're doing sun god fallacy shit.
To hate
No,
you?
he's already.
Well, no, Adam, there was recently a report that came out that showed that prominent white nationalists like the Proud Boys are joining ICE. You should agree that those people should not be in charge of making good decisions at ICE. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know you'll at least agree, like, the leader of the Proud Boys should not be in ICE.
In front of the.
But white people have been getting shit on for, well, that, I don't know where you're seeing that, because I'm white and I don't get shit on for my whiteness. That's like 2016 shit. Nobody's gonna have an issue with you with being white anymore. I promise you, brother. And if they do, tell them to talk to me, because I would love to have a debate on why my skin color makes me inherently racist, you know? I just don't think people believe that. So
The car this far
Well,
away.
at this point, he's
Much
already
time he-
moving away from the car,
this is
right?
a-
Because,
this is a
like, I think
silly
the
thing
first
to-
shot.
you're right, and Enrique Tarrio is indeed an ICE. From what the reports are saying.
Goes off while he's already to the side. No.
She's so close that when she takes off, she grazes him. How the fuck? That's close
I don't
enough.
have to walk on eggshells. What are you talking about? I can be as open and honest as I am right now, you know? I do not have to walk on eggshells for being white. I know that's what the right wing has fed you, but I promise you, you do not have to walk on eggshells. You don't have to do, you can speak your mind, but if you're saying racist things, then you're going to get some pushback on that.
In my opinion, like, yeah, I don't fucking know. I'm not going to be the one like in that position.
Well, I know
but
you're
if you
stupid enough
think
to have shot her in
she's
this scenario, but
crazy-
like a reasonable
No,
person
no,
might.
Adam,
stupid.
I think you've fallen victim to the right-wing media apparatus, because I promise you, we are speaking to people's real wants and needs. Cancel your own people constantly? I don't know who are you talking about?
No,
There-
dude, you're just
I don't
like
think that's
you
possible.
don't get it. You just don't understand what it's like to be in these type of situations.
I'm
'Cause
coming
you
from
probably-
Germany. What do people think about me? Well, I think that your nation is fucking dope. I am actually. Germany has done a very good job in financing the Ukraine war and making sure the Ukrainian people don't die and starve. So, good on you guys.
We
Do
are
you?
They
super
don't walk in
sheltered.
front of cars
Are you a law
that are
enforcement
moving.
officer?
There is no organization in your party. There's tons of organization. What are you talking about? We have tons of people organizing events for the liberals all the time.
Some death situations before, dude. I know what
How
it's
do you
like.
know?
Okay, I don't
Do
know if
you?
your sheltered ass has. Yeah,
What do you
I
mean,
do.
so if you're
So
talking about
anyway,
sheltered though,
if it-
do you
yeah,
acknowledge that and again I've had an ex-cop tell me this as well. You acknowledge that in order to draw his gun when he's in front of the car, you have to he wasn't doing that while he was pacing. He stopped
Yeah,
pacing
hero
to draw.
within DHS. So, oh yeah, that actually hits on something that really does concern me a lot, is the mass amounts of quitting that happened during during all of this.
Oh, his gun, right?
No, he didn't.
And
Yes.
No, he did not.
He took one step. That one.
Adam, you're fighting a ghost. I am not worried about being offended or anything like that. I'm pragmatic, okay? I want to do whatever will help the most amount of people, you know? All top 10 largest protests done by liberals, no organization. Yeah, I mean, I don't, that's a good point, actually. By the way, go check out Tom Foolery's show. He is the one that's hosting this debate, and he did a very good job moderating it. So go check him out. Very much worth it, guys.
That could have continued.
Literally,
True.
as the car is coming towards him, he realizes that, hey, this chick's gonna hit me, and draws his gun.
Okay, I'm gonna just play it to my
You did
chat
an
so they can see
exceptional job
how
of that,
delusional
by the
you're
way.
being. But I'm just gonna watch the clip, and you can see he like angles himself and he pauses for 1 second to draw his gun, and then she starts to move forward, and then he jumps out of the way.
I've watched the clip a lot.
A gun is not going to.
You can't tell. You can't tell.
If you want to
Hold on, wait,
protect
wait.
yourself from a from a car that's about to
Hold on.
turn in front of you, just jump out of the way. Why shoot them?
You're saying that his hips shift, right? You're saying his hips are like facing one direction, and then as the car starts moving, he turns his hips and faces it. Wonderbox?
For like a split second.
Okay.
Yeah, for a second.
Where can I get this deal where I can actually, you know, I know my description says funded by Soros, but I'm not actually funded by Soros. Can we please like get me in contact with whoever is paying people? Because I feel like I do a pretty decent job in defending the Democratic Party. And I feel like I should get some of this money, man. Where's this money coming from? You know, I feel like I at least deserve a $1,000 a month stipend. Just $1,000 a month. That's it.
Okay, so do you disagree with that grid? That
As then he had to slow.
Oh, you want to see real crazy eyes? Look at that picture of Trump popping a pilly.
Down
With
his
the
pacing
position
to draw the
of
gun.
his
No,
face the car?
no. This is manufactured. That he didn't even start shooting until the car is basically hitting.
Yeah, right, Tom Foolery show. Like, where's this money coming from? This is some bullshit. We need to form a group or something.
him. Like it's like
Until
when you
after,
watch
to be
it,
clear,
and
until
I've
after the
watched it
bump and
just
he's out of
go
the way,
down.
right? Yeah,
I've watched them both angles. I've done all of that, and his draw is really good. Like
Yeah, somehow all of us get money, but none of us are being paid at the. It's quite baffling to me. I don't get it. I don't accuse my opposition of being paid, even though maybe I should because of what happened with Benny Johnson and Tim Pool. But I don't accuse my opposition of being paid. I come to them in good faith.
I mean, I understand why. We've done a little bit more research on who he is and what he's done and all that. And because normal officers are normal officers.
Yeah, I should have so much money from protesting. Soros is slacking, dude.
Would have just taken the broken leg or whatever, and maybe
internal
maybe-
Wait, Grid, are you implying that had he not shot, he would have had a broken leg?
Yeah, how did the gun stop that?
I honestly think.
Adam, I promise you, I am not being paid. This is all just a hobby for me. I enjoy it very much, and someday I would love to make it into a career, but this is a hobby for me, man. I do it for the love of the game, you know?
At best, at the very best outcome, he'd have had a broken leg.
Okay,
but
can you
how
show
did
me,
the
can you
gun
watch
stop
the
the-
video and explain how the first shot, when he's not even in front of the car at this point, would it have prevented his
What do you
broken
mean he's not
leg?
in front of the car? He literally is hit by the car and is
The first shot
falling.
happens when he is
While
not in
did
front of
that-
the car.
Okay. She spun the
I mean,
tire.
I understand you maybe didn't watch the same video. You also thought he was in the hospital still. Like, maybe you don't have your facts straight, but like, he's not in front of the car when he fires the first shot. This
True patriots care about their country, and that means calling it out, and it's bullshit. Amen, dude. A fucking men.
is just like, you could demonstrably true. You can watch this part. That part's not in question.
But okay, in front of the car is like when you say in front of the car, like
Yeah, like I said, we hate fascists for free, man. We do it for free, man. Like, I just do this because I love my country, dog. You
It
know.
seems as though he's leaning over the car. Part of his body is in front of the car, but both of his feet.
And the
feet
first
are
shot
Or
goes
to the
to
side
the
of the car, yeah.
bumper. Yes, well, they're to the side of the front bumper, and so I think he's saying like he's leaning in front of the car, but he's
Right. So that
but his
shooting or not
feet are on
shooting
the side of the car.
changes not whether or not his legs break.
Yeah, the
What?
bullet stopped. The bullet took off the chunk of the car that would have.
All right.
his
All right,
leg.
whatever.
Yeah, I don't see how
We're
this
not
can
going to
possibly
agree
be
on this
preventative.
because these guys
Because
think
you're
the cops should
lying.
have
I'm
just gotten hurt and the woman should have driven off and everything should have been fine. That's
We like to call our own people out. The George Bush administration was terrible, but you're not okay. You can, like, that's not holding the current administration accountable. You know what I mean? When Biden did something bad, I called it out. But you will not criticize Trump. Name one thing about Trump that you don't like policy-wise.
what
Well, to be
these
clear,
guys
he
believe.
was hurt,
They're
Grid. He's
perfectly
horribly
willing to
internally bleeding. He
sacrifice
spent 8 days in the
officer
hospital.
safety
so-
and welfare in the name of idiots being idiots doing idiot shit. That's what they're fine with it.
So I'm watching the clip right now. He pivots, he starts pacing, then he pivots right in front of the car to take his gun out, and then she moves forward, and then he jumps out of the way. Now, I
Jack
guess
Frost, what type of parties are you going to, man? That's crazy. I don't even know how to engage with that. I can't even remember the last time I worshipped Satan, man. It's been a while, okay? It's been a while since I worshipped Satan. Yeah, I don't even think I've been to the blood ritual meetings yet, or in a while, I should say. We don't really do that much anymore. After the last sacrifice, we really didn't need it, so I mean, we wouldn't need the sacrificial table because we've already, we did the last sacrifice.
very simple question is, he supposedly identified the threat when he decides to take his gun out. That's the mental process. But I'm just wondering, you have to be a bit slower to draw your gun, right? You can't jump out of the way and draw your gun at the same time, right? Yes or no?
Absolutely, I can.
Okay. No, absolutely you can. Like with diving out of the way of a car. Jumping out of the way of a car, you can draw your gun that quickly.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay,
what do
Adam, you have to be honest. You are the one, your party are the ones that are completely hiding the Epstein files, man. You just got to be honest about that. Like, your administration are the ones that are hiding the files. So I don't know about that one, man.
I mean, I can't demonstrate now because,
When you think about see, that's an issue, Adam. When I think about a Republican, literally, I'll tell you the image that comes to my head. It's a picture of a dude in a suit with glasses on, kind of like Mike Johnson, honestly. That's what I imagine. I just imagine a picture of Mike Johnson. But for some reason, you can't, your image of a Democrat is some crazy child molester who that's disgusting, man. Why do you think of your opposition like that?
we take down all of our streams, but I'm a competitive shooter. I have a fairly decent draw myself.
Okay. Let's see why you like this guy.
That one was a good one by Loner. I
So
can
I've
see
got-
why you like this guy.
I'm actually,
So,
I'm
again-
originally when I heard about it, I was like, okay, it's just another idiot. But when you hear it, when you listen to the splits and you hear how fast,
I go to spirit cooking? What is spirit cooking? That shit sounds crazy. The Clintons are child traffickers, apparently now. This is breaking news coming from Adam. Thank you, Adam.
the time difference between when he realizes that, hey, I'm going to get hit with a car, and when he draws the gun and
No way. Jack Frost, welcome back, man. You're kind of a legend around here, Jack Frost. You're kind of a legend. Bill remembers you fondly.
fires aimed shots, it's impressive. Like, very impressive. It wouldn't have been impressive if he'd already had his gun drawn.
Whoa, whoa! You can't be anti-Israel if you're pro-Trump, man. Sorry, you gotta go back to the books on that
He
one.
should have, because now his partner's trying to arrest this person. He probably should have had his gun out already, but he didn't. He was taking this as, hey, this is just a soccer mom. We're gonna detain her.
Stonegate, I'm convinced you're on our side, man. I'm seeing through your disguise. You're on our side. I'm telling you. He's a secret
Whatever.
liberal,
He
guys.
wasn't. I
We've
don't
got
think
a
he took it
couple of
seriously until
these.
that car accelerated toward him, and he
Okay,
made the
so-
decision to go from
Mr. Mayhem. Oh, he's one of my favorites. I'm not gonna lie.
we're just going to detain this person to this is now escalated to very dangerous, and he made a very rapid decision.
Yeah, so anyone who's actually being honest with you, even if you just use your brain,
Most
would know
Republicans
that,
are not pro-Israel. That's just blatantly not true. Sorry.
and again, I've had ex-cops tell me this as well, that if you have two situations where you have to move out of the way of something, you are going to have an easier time moving out of the way when you don't have to draw your gun at the same time. I'm looking at the clip right now. This guy slowed down. He came to a stop to draw his gun and then faced her and then jumped out of the way when she started moving. He had two choices. He's like, this car might be a threat.
Literally.
Either I can protect
Yeah,
myself
like Nick Fuente. Yeah, that's the great. That's
with
the,
a gun, or
that's
I
the
move,
right that
or just
hates
keep moving out of the
Israel.
way. He chose to use the gun,
Great.
which is probably why he's got
Fight or
that
flight, dude.
traumatic
But
internal
it's
bleeding.
fight or flight. You're
bruise.
either going to choose one or the other.
Which do you
It's
think
not
is more
you're not
likely
always
to
gonna-
protect you from a car moving towards you, jumping out of the way or shooting it?
You don't have that kind of
Man
time to
versus car.
react and think about it.
Oh, thank you, Tom Ferluccio. I actually didn't know that. 80% of Republicans support funding Israel. 20% of Dems do. I mean, and I think this is like a pretty commonly held, like, known fact, I don't think this is breaking the pay dirt or anything here.
I
You
don't
don't
have
have that
time to
kind of
react and think about whether or not drawing a gun and shooting is going to save me from the car better than getting out of the way. Are you retarded?
Yes, because
Amen. But this is a great point brought up by Loner. Like, you're not going to stop a car by just shooting at it. And again, we saw the result of that.
because the
You
car
don't. No, guess what?
People back over people. People do weird things. Yes, once you're a threat until the threat is gone.
People
In-
back
Am I pro or not pro Israel? I mean, I'm pro a two-state solution with an eventual vote every decade for a reunification. I think that's the best way, but again, I'm not in the region, but from what I've gathered from just talking to people from Israel, from Palestine, I think that would be the best settlement right now for both people. But I am not for what Israel is doing in Gaza or the West Bank. I think that's just disgusting.
over. So if he
And to
had
be
got
clear,
to the
when
side
he
of the
shot
car
her-
on this icy, if he had got to the side of the car and not drawn his gun, there's a risk that she might have gone forward and then really quickly reversed back into him, or what?
Look, it's that simple.
absolutely
He's
could've.
on ice. He's on ice.
Jesus Christ!
Absolutely could have.
Like she would have done a fucking
well,
donut.
at that point, he would have had an
and
extra like
bonked
3 to
him with
4
the back
seconds
of
to
the car.
actually draw his gun and get in a good
Well,
position.
actually,
but-
if that had happened, his partner would have drawn their gun and shot her. But that's beside the point.
Yeah, isn't it
But-
interesting
but-
that
to
not
be
a
clear,
single
are
other
we all
officer-
underneath the car?
Isn't it
But to
interesting
be
that
clear,
there
all
have
of
been cases where multiple cops have fired on a moving car and been done for it and not been given qualified immunity? But in this case, only one guy seemed to think it was even worth drawing his gun. Yeah, fuck.
What do you
And
mean?
also, he
Seemed to
didn't-
think it was
That's something else that I don't think I've talked about very much, but a pretty good point is that he was the only person who thought this was a real issue. Trump says he's the most pro-Israel president ever. Oh yeah, he is most definitely the most pro-Israel president ever. It's not even close. At least Biden, Biden handed Trump a ceasefire. People forget that, but I'm a one-stater personally, Palestinian state with equal rights for both Jews and Muslims, like Mimdani said in the debate. I see where a lot of people are coming from that, but I don't think the atmosphere within Palestine and within Israel right now is one of reunification. You know, they're pretty upset with each other right now. And so while an eventual one state is something I would love to see, I think right now, until tensions are able to die down, two states are the best option. But I do see the argument for one state solution. You know, I think it would lead to a unintended consequences, you know. Agree both nations have baggage, they need to be unpacked. Yeah, and I think something you could have a lot of interesting things that come from a Palestinian state and an Israeli state.
Were that he was the one in danger. He's the one that made the decision.
What, so the
under
other cops
stress.
didn't see the other guy in danger? Didn't see that he was in danger?
Maybe not in time to react.
Okay. You acknowledge as well.
You think
'cause
everybody
you
reacts at the
dodged this
same
earlier.
speed?
Yeah, you dodged this earlier. You acknowledge that he fired after the bump happened, right? Not during, after.
It was at 5 minutes after. You're talking about what, like 1.01 second after?
He went, whoa, and then fired. As in-
Something interesting to note is that seconds are measured in court. Like seconds are accounted for. You know, they delve into it second by second. So your decisions in that second are, you know, are very crucial.
Yeah.
He's out of the way, and then he's
0.01
fired.
second. Okay, 0.01 second.
As in, so he's gotten out of the way.
He
and then
already
he's
made
fired.
the decision to fire because he knew he was going to get hit.
Okay. Or he'd already been bumped
I
and
actually
thought, oh
saw
god,
a really
I'm
interesting Pisco debate. I don't remember who it was with. Trying to think now. Anyways, I saw a very interesting Chud Logic. Yeah, Chud Logic and Pisco debated. And I was watching Ice Beans cover that, and she Pisco mentioned that each round is also accounted for as well. It's not, they don't have carte blanche to just empty their clip, which I was under the impression that they were for a while. I still thought the the second and third shot were wrong, but I thought that I didn't know that he was legally not in the clear for those second and third shots.
might die. This car might continue to break my leg as it's gone past me.
Grid, I have seen like a bunch of ex-ICE officers or DHS officers and lots of people on online in articles saying that this is like almost
Adam-
everything that he did was against protocol.
I do think that the Christian nationalists seem to be really rearing for a war. You do bring up a good point, eh?
And what
They
DHS
do seem
policy
pretty
is.
war
Have
hungry.
you? But I'm sure
I
that
don't know
there's
what
there's
DHS
that
policy
story.
is in regard to traffic stops because they don't do traffic stops, right? Like this is my biggest complaint
But
with
yes,
this
I do
guy
agree
is that
with you, Juiced, that real Christians, you know, they don't. My mom's a Christian, so that's the only point of reference I have. But she talks every day about how Donald Trump is very much goes against the Christian teachings. And from the time that I was a Christian, I mean, it's obvious to me that he does, you know. Would Trump take the shirt off of his back for a homeless man? I don't think so.
Well, this wouldn't be a traffic stop. The idea
it's
would be
treated
that
as a
he
traffic
was-
stop, though.
No,
It's treated
not
as a
really. It's their claim is that she was obstructing, right? So it's not really
Sure,
like a
but
traffic
but the
stop.
things the cops are talking about are things that people that do traffic stops know about, like not walking in front. Counterpoints was saying this the other day because he was a cop. He was a beat cop. He was a cop that drove around in a car all day. So they know, hey, don't walk in front of the car. Don't walk behind the car because idiots are idiots and they'll try and run you over. Right? He made that point. I agree with this point, and I told him.
Not really contending with the point brought up there. And honestly a good clarification question, because this isn't just your typical traffic stop. That's another good point. They didn't really make it clear if it was a traffic stop, but that's what it was. Put a baby face on a pro-Trump poster. That's very fitting since he's a PDF file. Very true.
Feds aren't traffic cops. They have very narrow. They have a very focused point of training.
I'm more spiritual, more occultist type stuff, but damn, really filling up the stereotypes of the left, aren't I? But I really do respect anybody who has a different belief or different religion. You know, I think that if we didn't have that, we'd be losing out on so much. So,
to some degree, and he may have done vehicle operations at some point. I'm sure he did, but he doesn't do it all the time. So he's not thinking that the soccer mom's going to throw the car in reverse or forward and try and run him over. That's not. He's thinking, hey, I need to back my partner up who's about to open this door and pull this woman out and arrest her.
Also, this isn't true because he has a history of this type of occurrence. So he probably was thinking, oh, this might not be a good situation to be in, but we can't know his state of mind at the time, you know? And so we have to be objective about it. We can't say, oh, well, I think he thought this. No,
that's what he's thinking.
So
Grid, do you acknowledge this by taking these?
The frame of mind. Well, hold on. I can understand the frame of mind that you're giving me, and I can agree with that to an extent. But wouldn't
yeah, me too. I'm cool if you believe, but it becomes a problem when you want to govern other people's lives based on with the Bible or based on your beliefs. Yeah, I totally agree. It's why I'm very much against conservative Islamic beliefs too. I think those can be very damaging. The same as Christian nationalist beliefs, you know? It's why I think the Ayatollah in Iran is a fucking evil dictator and deserves to be deposed as soon as possible. I think these types of theocracies are they're just wrong and antithetical to the way humans exist, in my opinion.
That just further explain that like he is just doing the wrong thing, that like if like protocol and what it is that they're trained to do doesn't matter.
I think he was sloppy, but that doesn't give her the right to try and run his ass over.
Wait, Grid,
Sure,
you
I don't
literally
know
said
what-
that this was like
real quick,
impeccable
hold on.
draw,
So
his
wait,
great work,
so wait,
like,
hold
and
on,
now you're
wait,
saying
Yeah, his
he's
gun work was
incompetent?
awesome.
Wait.
He was sloppy with his
I
traffic
don't
work.
think anybody here thinks that she was right in trying to flee, or that she.
Well, apparently they do, because they're justifying the shit out of it.
When did I say
They-
that?
they-
Oh, we
So-
didn't.
so I
Oh, you
feel
just
you
made that
think
up.
that she's
Okay, I see. I
right.
understand.
I think it's
I did.
right.
That was a good one. Yeah, I don't think no one's saying, I don't think, like, I'm not saying she wasn't in the wrong for trying to leave, although we don't know if that's what she was trying to do. She could have just been trying to park to somewhere that's more beneficial. We don't know because somebody made the decision to shoot her, and we'll never know her side of the story. I became MAGA a few months ago. For some reason, the more into MAGA I get, my sister and my mom just start hotter. Not sure what it is, but I'm hoping my fellow MAGAs can help. Thanks, MAGA fam. Dude, that's good. You had me convinced there for a minute. I was like, oh damn, well maybe how can I convince this guy to come to the other side? But if you're fucking your sister, man, I can't help you with that, man.
It's
try
that,
to-
it's those
You
mental
literally
cartwheels
spent
again.
this
Being
whole
right,
time
like,
saying that this
legally, I
cop
don't think
didn't
you're
have to
allowed
shoot her,
to.
and you were just okay with her driving off.
Do you think if I say
after-
you don't have to
okay,
shoot someone for
after
something,
used
that
a
means the thing is
vehicle as a
okay?
deadly
Is
weapon
shoplifting okay if I think you shouldn't have to shoot people for it? What the fuck are you talking about?
I genuinely thought for a minute. You had me there, man. That's a good one.
That's not the same
But
thing.
this isn't shoplifting.
You're
This is literally
conflating.
driving a deadly weapon at somebody.
Yes,
Is that
wait,
okay?
Grid, that is what we're
I
trying
think
to get at.
I think
is
in
that-
worst
that
case
the
scenario, you
difference-
could prosecute this person for like evading arrest at some point. Like, and I would probably say that's
No, you would
justified.
you would literally. I would prosecute that if she gotten away. I would have prosecuted her for literally assault with a
Attempted
deadly
murder?
weapon with intent.
You'd say with intent.
Wait, why?
You've seen, hang on,
Wait,
hang
hold
on.
on,
You've
wait,
seen
wait.
That's an important part too. With intent. So you're telling me this woman woke up and said, "I'm going to kill ICE today." That's what intent would have to be. You would have to seriously prove that this soccer van mom wanted to kill. That
Okay,
is
hold
for
on,
sure.
hold on, hold on,
That's
hold
a
on.
crazy
guys,
stance to
hold on,
take.
hold on. Okay, so I feel like maybe I misunderstood. So Grit, I thought at the beginning we were asking about like her intent and what it was that you thought she was trying to do, and I thought you were saying that you didn't have like a take on what her intent was. But now you are
Well,
saying you would charge her with
I'm
intent.
simply
Yes.
Uh-oh. Joe Blow's angry. What's up, Joe? Good to see you. Lethal force is not appropriate for evading arrest.
responding to. I'm giving them the opposing view because if they're going to say that she should just be, just hand waved away for trying to run over this cop, I'm going to say no. I don't believe that. I think that if
You're
you were-
creating a
you were
dichotomy
in
grid
a-
between
Also,
either you
you're
let her go and
absolutely
do
in the-
nothing
in the
and kill her,
position-
and we're saying
You're
you shouldn't have killed
absolutely in
her.
the position of saying that a person, first of all, the minute you accelerate a car towards someone, they don't have to be directly in front of you. They don't have to be like, if you accelerate a vehicle towards someone, especially a law enforcement officer, that vehicle becomes a deadly weapon.
You also don't have to be turning the vehicle in the opposite direction that the person's moving, apparently. Yeah, even though we can literally see the clip
But
of
we
her
don't
turning
know that.
the
You
wheel
keep
to the right.
claiming that, but we
She's
don't
turning-
know that.
No,
We
we
saw
do
that
know
on the-
that.
on
There's
the
a clip of
video.
her from his own
We
phone.
don't know that.
She turned her wheel to the right as he was moving left. This is the fucking MAGA thing. You guys are pretending to not know your left from your right to make this make sense.
It's not. First of all, I'm not MAGA. Second,
Oh yeah.
I don't know what
He's not?
People
she was
never
trying
MAGA.
to
It's so
do.
weird.
Yeah, I'm not MAGA.
Okay.
Did you vote for Trump?
I did, but that doesn't make.
Yeah,
us
that's all that
MAGA.
matters, buddy.
Is that all that matters? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you vote?
Well, it kind of does. Like, right? Like, it kind of does.
If you
did
support
you
him
vote for,
materially, you're MAGA. Like just
Did you
because you're
vote
not.
for Kamala?
Well, Grid, that's
Yeah,
why
I did
earlier
Jay Woda, you've already exposed yourself. I already know you. I see ya.
So
Kamala,
when you said
Brad
assault,
Summers.
with a deadly weapon with intent,
But for real though, how stupid do you have to be to walk in front of a vehicle? Like, that's a great question. I don't know.
I'm asking you about like if you're saying that
I
you would charge her
advocate,
with the intent
again,
as well.
Yeah,
my
the minute-
whole
have-
position on this thing is advocating for an investigation to happen. And unfortunately, no investigation. Oh, dude, no investigation is happening, but Kamala Harris would have been absolutely an amazing president. What are you talking about?
have to
She
believe that
put-
she
the
did
minute
show
she
that
hammered
she
the
was
accelerator
intending to-
goes to intent.
Wait, so
could've-
you
she
clearly
could've
at the
stopped.
beginning of
She
this
knew he
said we
was-
can't know
she
what's
could
in her
clearly
mind. Now
see
you're
he was
saying
in
Yeah,
100.
Phil, you might want to stay away from the baby part of saying things right now. Your guy doesn't have too good of a track record when it comes to children, so just keep that, make America great again, baby. Just keep the baby out of it. Just say I am MAGA.
Percent its intent provable.
She could clearly see the officer was in front of her and she stepped on the accelerator. And this has been upheld in the Supreme Court, U.S. versus Wallace.
Kalama
That is
law
intent
lost.
and that is.
No way, really? See, unlike you guys, we can accept when we lost a election. We don't have to overthrow the Capitol to get it.
Vehicular assault.
Why do you leave out the fact that she was turning the wheel in the opposite direction that he was moving?
It doesn't matter. It does not matter. That does not matter. You guys keep pointing to
It
that.
doesn't
like
matter
it
if you
matters.
can
The
show that
wheels
there's
can be
intent.
turned.
Mike, she talked about how she would fight against price gouging. She talked about how she wanted to build more buildings. There were so many things that in Kamala's policy.
you think
not
she
hit
was
just
the
as
person?
easily the other way.
Do you think she was attempting
None
to
of
get
that
like
matters.
a spin ball on him, like in fucking pool?
Well, I'm okay. So
Again,
when
if you
we're talking about,
accelerate
Phil, if you want a quick cheat code in how to get me to ignore your message completely, put it all in caps. That is like an instant like ignore, you know?
a vehicle towards someone, regardless which ways your wheels are turned, you're
No
gonna
matter
be-
Trump on the border, her more progressive policy was abortion, but aside that, I don't agree. I don't think she was a blue MAGA. I think she had a lot of really progressive policies, but people she didn't have a messaging apparatus to really tell people that, the right-wing media apparatus just ate her up.
Well,
hit
okay,
with
so
your-
what if I tap the accelerator? I start going 1 mile an hour and he's 100 feet away. Would you say that this is intent to commit vehicular manslaughter?
if you're 1 mile an hour,
Yeah, 1 mile an hour.
Oh yeah, the midterms, we're kicking ass in the midterms. I'm excited for the midterms. You guys aren't ready. I kind of want to get like a field board or something. I don't know. I've got some
probably
ideas.
it depends on the range, but probably not.
Okay, so are you saying that there maybe are circumstances that might change the way that a court interprets whether or not she intended to hit him?
Well, looks like I'm the one exception. I liked Kamala Harris. Can men get pregnant? Well, if they're cisgendered, probably not. However, if they're a transgender man, then yeah, they can probably get pregnant depending on the hormones that they're on.
That has nothing to
Oh
do
yeah,
with
we're
what
taking names in the midterm, Snowset. I'm excited.
you're going to be charged with.
We've got a lot of really good candidates too, dude.
It has everything to do with it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be charged with intent.
Dude, I just absolutely destroyed your question, Greybane. So
It's okay, soy pill. It's okay.
Are you aware of the difference between intent and non-intent? Like the difference between like manslaughter and murder? Like intent matters. Like this is a very significant thing.
Yes,
in
but
charging someone.
when you are charged,
well,
they
Snowset, what I would
suss
say
that.
to that is she was running like she had to put a campaign together really quick, and everybody on the left-wing media, or not left-wing, but everybody was saying needs to be more moderate, and so I think she ran a good set for what she had at the time. I think if she had more time, though, she would have ran a better campaign. She probably would have had a better media ecosystem too.
Out. If you accelerate,
Yes, the obsession with trans people's genitalia is very strange. I don't get it.
towards a person
Right.
and you intend to do it, you're going to
Okay,
charge
so
you.
again,
Well,
we
even
just
if they don't.
agreed that if she had gone a mile an hour at a guy 10 feet away, this would not be intent, correct?
I'll go with you.
Yeah, I know she did have a lot of momentum following Biden's departure, but that's also part of the reason why it kind of ended up failing in the end, because that just gave the Republicans ammo to be like, she wasn't democratically elected, even though like everybody knew that if Biden dropped out, Kamala would be our pick. But liberals love trans wieners. Well, I don't want to speak for everybody.
But it's still going to be vehicular assault.
Okay,
you
so at
dropped
least
that
we're
one
at the
quite
part
quickly,
where we
didn't you?
can't
The deadline to me,
100%
almost as
definitively
if you
say
knew. It was
that she
still
did have
fucking
intent,
bullshit.
because of course we can't. But yeah, theoretically, this could be some sort of involuntary thing. But I'm glad we moved on from the intent.
Involuntary?
Yeah, as in she didn't try
So-
to
See,
kill this person.
exactly right here, Snowset. It gave him ammo to literally do this.
No.
That's what I'm trying to understand.
Did she
as well,
step on
Greg.
the
If we're
accelerator
talking about
pedal or not?
intent,
Did
if we're
she
talking about
ease
intent,
away, or
we're
did
saying that-
she hammer it
Well,
enough
hold
that
on,
the tires spun?
but it does, like with intent, it's not just saying that like you're doing something and something could possibly happen as a consequence accidentally, but that, because that would be like negligent or something like that, but you're talking about with intent, so you're saying like her
Yeah,
goal
she
was
hammered
to
the
hit him.
accelerator. She
So wait, I also have a question. Can MAGA say MAGA? Like, can that even be your slogan if you're doing a Trump 2028 run? Because hasn't he already made America great? Like, what are we fighting for? You know, I think you guys kind of have to go back to the drawing boards. Trump swipes his fat ass with the Constitution. Yeah, I know, dude. Don't worry. I think what you're going to see in the midterms and the 2028 election is a flat out rejection of all of this stuff. You're seeing it in the special elections, but you're going to see a rejection of all of this bullshit. And I'm excited for that. I mean, you're seeing it even now. Like, I have a lot of people in my chat that are Republican and are more fiscally conservative, but they hate Trump and they hate what their party has become. And so that gives me hope. That really does give me hope. Yeah, we can hope, you know? Like, I want a functioning Republican Party, dude. I'm so sick of having to deal with this MAGA virus. Like, it sucks that we only really have one. We have the Democracy Party and the Authoritarian Party. That Guy doesn't exist. When you stream the next time and how often? I want to support you on every stream if I can. Oh, thank you so much. That, I don't know if you could tell, but that brought a smile to my face, man. My streaming schedule right now is a little messed up, but I do schedule my streams out a week in ahead. So if you go to my YouTube channel, you should see a scheduled stream for tomorrow at 10 a.m. And those are kind of the times in which I'm able to stream. Unfortunately, my schedule at work is really fucked up right now. But I stream as often as I can.
I've seen a bunch of videos and I've given my opinion on the ones that, you know, from my perspective. I'm not a bootlicker. I think the cop made some mistakes. I mean, he really did. He should have. There was no need for him to, once he had the license plate number, he should have backed his partner up. I've said that. I don't understand kind of why he was met. Maybe.
How is well, for one, the Democrats aren't in power right now, John. But two, how are we useless? We've passed some pretty great legislation.
And you know what, it could be that he was trying to keep an eye on the other woman, and you know, because you have two people and you don't know who has what. She could have had a concealed weapon.
Phil, I'm sorry, but you have fallen for propaganda yourself, and I don't know if you quite understand that.
And he's just kind of trying to, make sure that she's not doing.
But you know what? I'm actually very proud of you, Phil. You didn't put PBS in there, and I'm assuming that's because you, as many others, understand how much of a valuable asset PBS is, and how much of a shame it is that its publicly sourced funding has been cut. Living in America time, right? Because, oh yeah, so my time schedule is CDT. That's the one I use. I'm in Kansas, so.
Something weird.
Love this state. Very beautiful.
I don't know. Cops
Great
have a
people,
hard
too.
job. There's a reason I'm not a cop. So, I don't know. I think the guy did a pretty good job. Other than, I don't think that, I think once a decision had been made to arrest them, whether they're two nitpicks that I have, once his decision had been made to arrest the driver, the first officer at the door should have said, turn the vehicle off. And he didn't do that. We know the vehicle was in parked when they approached, so she had to have put it in reverse. And at that point,
motorsports being a little nuanced, I do like that. And honestly, bringing up a position I hadn't really thought about before, but yeah, they probably should have asked her to turn off her vehicle. I think that's a good point.
The officer at the door should have drawn his weapon and said, stop, put the vehicle in park.
Wait, before he was even in danger,
hold on,
for his
I'm
life,
not
he should have
finished
pulled
yet.
the gun and
Over time about how some people are born to be cops. I don't know. I think that, cops, They provide a valuable asset, and no one's denying that. I think Republicans make their, and people that like advocate to use the cops in every situation, I think they make the police officers' jobs 10 times harder than it needs to be. Okay, because a cop isn't trained on how to deal with some guy who hasn't taken his pills and he's locked himself in his room, but a social worker does. And so I like Mamdani's idea of potentially having social workers take part in these patrols and stuff. I think that's very interesting. With ICE agents, it's unfortunately very true. Yeah. You guys just heard, I'm not for like defund the police or anything like that, but it becomes harder each day in my mind to justify ICE's existence, you know? It really does become hard for me to justify their existence with things like this. Just got back from the bootlicking convention. I wasn't there, but I heard Greybane and John might have been there for a little bit.
Pointed it at her?
Yeah, social workers are what we need. Mamdani for the win. Exactly. And I think that it acknowledges the valuable role that police play. You know, I think I'm glad that I have police officers, but I definitely think that social workers are a valuable addition, and we need to, you know, stop treating the cops like they're the one-stop fix to all our solutions, you know? Not you, the dude that was saying cry, cry, cry. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There are some major bootlickers, but that's okay. We're trying to solve their addiction. We're trying to solve their addiction to licking boots.
If you are going to flee my arrest...
What's up, Leap? How you doing? It's been a minute since I've seen you in chat. We have not deported all the Somalians yet. We have not done that, but, and we hope not to. We hope not to.
Then yes, because there's people in front of you. If you are fleeing, you're endangering everyone. Okay.
To be fair, she was already reversing before he
hold on.
moved
I'm
in front
trying
of
to
the car,
finish.
but, yeah.
Guys, you guys can't.
Okay,
Yeah, but the leather on the boots is just
try
too
to
big.
wrap it up.
yourselves. I
quickly.
understand.
Yeah,
was
talking
me.
for
You're like, buddy. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that, man.
5 minutes and
Hold
I
on.
just
Yeah,
asked a question.
try to land quickly, Grid.
Yeah, so I haven't been talking for 5 minutes.
Unfortunately, I'm probably about to head out once we hit the 3-hour mark, because I do have to do some behind the scenes stuff. I plan on restreaming to a couple platforms here soon. Nope, we have to deport them all. Yep. Fuck, you got me, man. Reminds me of the time Mr. Mayhem was in here. And for a minute, he had convinced me that he was truly like MAGA. And I was responding to some of his
The second, the
responses.
officer that did get hit, he should have, once his partner had made the decision to detain them, he should have had the wife in handcuffs already. Like I understand that this played out in a very weird way. And again, these guys are, you know, they're federal agents. They're not traffic cops. They're not detectives. They're not anything. You know, they have a very specialized job to do. I'm going to cut them a little slack for that. But as far as police officers, they didn't do it. I mean, this comes down to a traffic stop that was just not handled very well.
He keeps coming back to it, but it's not a traffic stop, you know? That's an important point.
All right, we're going to read the second one. I'm going to let you, Lunderbox, respond to this one, and then we'll go back to you, to Soypill, to continue what it was before. But this one
crazy
is from
geometry
Brick.
question, yeah.
This is from Brick Petitions 101 for 199. He said, "Officer created jeopardy isn't an excuse for safety." Do you agree with that, Lunderbox?
As far as I know, that's like a fairly new thing that they've been exploring. I say new. It's been around since about 2011. I know that in Minnesota, they would consider that because they've considered that in previous case law as well, where cops put themselves into
Can you
situations that they
explain
shouldn't.
what that is?
So when people are
There-
determining, so in general, it's the overall circumstances that determine whether or not an officer had a reasonable belief to fear for their life or to use deadly force. Usually that'll be the severity of the crime or what's happening in the moment or the intent, the perceived intent of the drivers. That's why people who very slowly try to escape like a traffic block after they just ended a high-speed chase and they start slowly moving the car again, cops have fired into the car even when no one's in danger immediately because it's not worth allowing a high-speed chase to continue. It's too dangerous. Officer created jeopardy is this idea that it would also consider things that the police officers do themselves in violation of protocol to put themselves into a dangerous situation. And an example here of officer created jeopardy would be the car is moving before he walks in front of it, which would obviously, and obviously the way that they're talking to her and everything else might contribute to the situation. So
the argument of officer created jeopardy, I really do. I'm going to look more into it because it's an interesting legal concept in general.
I don't know about how
Okay,
it works
so
legally, but it makes sense. But I think absent that, it's still not justified.
Just quickly, I do see this in the chat. A bunch of people keep saying like they weren't legally allowed to conduct traffic stops. From my understanding, this wasn't a traffic stop. That she was blocking the road. She was there for over 4 minutes. She was following around the ICE officers for a long period before that. And even the claim from ICE, from DHS, and from the Trump administration has been that she was obstructing. And so they do have
he
a right
broke
to
several
detain-
policies, at least, without a doubt, you know? And again, I sound like a broken record, but this would all be cleared up with a real and fair investigation, you know? But they're just not doing that.
people over obstruction.
I do get
So
sad when I start to think about Renee Good and how her family is gonna have to cope with her loss. It's a real tragedy.
Bill or Wonderbox, do either one of you disagree that she was blocking the road or that she may have been obstructing?
I think she was probably there to like be annoying, maybe even disrupt
Be a
them. But
nuisance
it
to
was
them.
also clear
Yep.
that one, they could have gone around her because another car did, and two, she's waving them around. So at worst, she was like,
Sure, but the question
"I'm
is
making
the
your life
question
a
is
little
about
harder."
that.
Not
The
she's.
question is about whether or not this is a traffic stop. Like we don't
Oh,
know.
that's another thing, Snowset. That's something else that kind of, yeah, that's why I think it should be like a state investigation or something. She was impeding traffic and disobeying orders. Yeah, and that's something else, Leap 7-inch. Like, I'm not
No, it's not.
denying that she may have been potentially involved in like the minor crime of impeding traffic or disobeying orders, but does that deserve a shot to the face? Definitely not. Definitely not, you know? If they
Not a
wanted to
traffic stop.
detain her, if they wanted to put her under arrest, you know, that's a different conversation entirely.
But
They were
the reason
there
we keep
because she
bringing
was
up traffic
obstructing.
stop is because it's the same kind of scenario of person in a car that might be idling and you're walking up to this car, and there's a reason why cops go up and they approach from
no.
behind and the sides, right? That's the only
The
reason we're saying
argument
that.
is
But
that
no, it's not.
no. The argument from like that keeps being brought up in chat, as I said, is I'm addressing something that keeps being brought up in chats where they keep saying that they don't have the right to detain her because they don't have a right to enforce traffic stops. And so I'm saying we all agree this was not a traffic stop. They were stopping her because she was obstructing. Yes.
I mean, the courts have been fairly clear that they.
So
while
she's
they can't-
become okay. So for that to even have any credibility, you would have had the officer would have had to made the decision that when they would have had to made the decision within that small amount of time that she has committed a felony, that she is attempting to flee, and that the only reasonable means to stop her from getting away with the crime is to kill her. And I just don't see that. I don't see that. should have obeyed. And well, I mean, yeah, she should have. I think she should have. You know, I would have personally probably done different things, but at the end of the day, you know, I don't think she deserved to be shot. I think it's just sad. Misdemeanor, yeah, like a misdemeanor or an infraction.
Cannot affect the actual arrest. They can detain someone doing these things until the police actually show up.
No, she didn't. See, but Tammy, you have to, you know, you have to make that split second decision, and I just don't know how you make that decision, because we saw the result of the shooting. The car continued on its path and did not stop. If anything, I think the shooting made her car more dangerous, because now you have somebody who is deceased with a still operating vehicle still moving, and it caused property damage.
To arrest them. Then and that's been pretty clear for a few decades now. So
Okay, so Soypill, you wanted to go back to your question earlier. Did I wait too
yeah.
long?
So our friends were confused by geometry, so I'm going to share my screen because this is I don't understand what this is so difficult.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Yes, it
You
does.
guys are killing me.
Let me
with
know
the
when you
screen.
can see. And just in
All right.
case, this is also a car.
Wait. Stop what you're doing, Soy. Stop 1 second.
What?
I just
Oh,
need
did
to
I not
ask.
put the pig
I
nose on him?
Put that away.
Yeah.
Bury it.
Oh, do you have a better
I
one?
just need
Okay.
no. Just bring it back in a second. I just need to ask Kung
Okay.
Fu Joe, because you said earlier, what part of the windscreen was hit? Where's the bullet hole? Is it in like which quadrant? Is it in like the middle, the left?
Seriously, one Chud leaves, another shows up every time. I know. It is interesting.
Third, the right third? How would you describe where it is?
Probably
Guys, I do have to
Well, I
end the
look at-
stream here in a minute, though, because I do have some things I need to take care of. So we're probably, since we don't have PBS News Weekend, we'll probably be watching the rest of this here in the morning. I'm a Chud, nothing ever happens. Well, I'm hoping to change your mind, Leap. I am. I'm hoping to change your mind. Hey, and at least you can admit that she didn't deserve to be shot. I see people come in my chat all the time, like celebrating her death. Like, that's crazy. I could never. I was disgusted when it happened to Charlie Kirk, and I'm disgusted that it happened here, you know? But anyways, guys, I do have to start getting ready to head out, so I'll put the ending screen stream theme scene Beans. Ice Beans is a good content creator. You guys should go check her out. But I'm actually going to bring up Tomfoolery's channel, and I'm going to send you guys off to there because he's the one that hosted this debate, and I think he did a very good job in moderating. I'm not gonna... Unfortunately, I can't raid directly right now, but at some point I hope to be able to do that. Go check Tomfoolery show out. He was in the chat earlier, and I think he's doing good work out there. He's doing good work. I'll probably be in his chat later. But guys, go check out Tomfoolery show. Let me get the music playing. The Front Mission 4 music. I think we need a music change here soon.
Fucking crazy. We have 5 angles of what happened here. Normally, like a cop shooting, getting on camera is rare already. Like it's already rare.
That was Tom
And
talking.
now-
Well, go check out Tom. He's super cool. The direction tires matters. They are public servants. She had every right to follow them. Amen. Amen. Here, let me get the music playing. Sorry, guys. I know it's, we're being a little silly right here, and I apologize. All right, boot camp. All right, soldiers. I ask you to go out into Tomfoolery's chat and tell him that guy doesn't exist sent you. Also, go dutifully subscribe to him. He's doing great things out there. He really is. He's actually been a pretty long time supporter of the channel too. I remember him being in my stream chat a long time ago, actually. So go give him love. He deserves it. He did a very good, I thought he did a great job moderating. You guys will see in the next half. But yeah, he does a good job writing chat the name. Oh, hold on. One moment, guys. Sorry. That's not him. Hey, I'm nothing but I'm nothing if not a little shoestringed out here. Go give him some likes and follows too. He deserves way more likes. That number needs to be at 30. If it's not at 30, you guys, Sergeant is gonna have some. You sergeants are gonna have some gunnery duty or something like that. There we go. That's the one you need to go to. Go check him out. Cool guy. Anyways, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go light a hog's leg, as they say. And I'll be in Tomfoolery's chat. Shout out to Juice Boy, Snowsnet, Rhino Raider, Leap. You guys are all chads out here.